First things first, Bucks now at 4-6. Only one Super Bowl champ in the previous 37 has lost 4 home games, as the Bucks have done. The 1988 49ers, that's the remaining Bucks schedule. Tennessee at the end, at New Orleans. Hey, look, they pretty much got to run the table. I guess you could get it at 9-7, but you don't want to try that. And so Tampa Bay at 4-6 gave up what, Tom, today? 190 yards rushing.
Yeah, and no sacks for the first time in 69 straight games. That was an NFL record. So I think that offensive line, you know, for Larry Bechtel is their coach for the Green Bay Packers. I think they had special interest in what they were going to do with that defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this is a devastating loss, no matter how you want to spell it, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And I give Green Bay the nod. After getting up off the mat after that tough Monday night loss to McNabb, they win at a place they lost 5 in a row at the new Sombrero. After they've won at Minnesota, they win in places they don't win, Minnesota and Tampa, and they lose at Lambeau. I don't get it. Game ball. Mine goes to Donovan McNabb. 9 different receivers, 24 of 30 for 300-plus yards, and Donovan McNabb, what a week. It began on Monday at Lambeau. It continued against the G-Men.
And boom, mine goes to Peter Warrick of the Cincinnati Bengals. Could the Bengals beat the undefeated Chiefs? Now we know they can. 6 receptions, 114 yards, the huge return, proving again anything can happen.
Primetime Performers. Brought to you by the all-new BMW 5 Series, the ultimate driving machine.
Look, it's a day that the last undefeated team fell. It's a day that the Super Bowl champions have now lost 3 in a row. They never lost 2 in a row under John Gruden before now. So things are jumbling around and tightening up.
Yeah, and congratulations to those Dolphins.
Yeah, the 72 Dolphins still perfect. For Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching Primetime. Did somebody mention we have a pretty good Sunday night game with the Patriots hosting the Cowboys? Here's Mike Patrick.
2 coaches with common ties and common goals at the top of their profession. Tonight, they go head-to-head in a critical game.
Just one word.
Powerful. Winner.
Business.
Exceptional. No. Knowledgeable.
Very decisive and focused on his plan. That was one word.
When he came to this organization, we knew what we were getting. Discipline, confidence,
a winning attitude.
I've been a believer since day one. I'm still believing now.
Making mistakes.
It's not good. Dumb mistakes, turnovers, jumping off sides.
Will turn him in a bad mood in a hurry.
I'd say his greatest strength is his preparation.
Mentally, more so than physically.
Play smart, play hard.
He expects perfection. We try to give it to him the best we can. Intense.
He's a competitor.
Yeah, I mean, he's intense.
Anybody that's passionate for the game is going to be a little intense. That goes with the territory.
I think when you start winning, the pride starts coming back.
When you're losing, teams seem like they can go out there and just beat on you.
We've taken on our coach's personality. A team that's going to fight you 4 quarters and understand what it takes to win games.
Really, what you see is what you get with Coach Belichick.
We feed off of him.
The expectations are simple.
The expectation is high.
They both got a knack for putting teams together, putting schemes together to win.
Yeah, David, what's up?
You have to be a genius to do that.
The Patriots at 7-2 take the field in front of a sellout crowd of 68,000 to face the 7-2 Dallas Cowboys. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick. It's great to have you with us. The Dallas Cowboys are the turnaround story of the season in the NFL so far. They were 5-11 for 3 straight years. Then in comes Bill Parcells. They are now 7-2, first place in the NFC East. They have done it with a persistent running game and the #1 ranked defense in the NFL. The Patriots are in first place in the AFC East, and that is a miracle when you consider the number of devastating injuries that they have suffered. We asked Bill Belichick about his 7-2 ball club. and its strengths. And Joe, he gave us a two-word answer, Tom Brady.
And that's what it is, Mike. And Tom Brady's got to be so excited tonight. This is what every quarterback dreams of. A football team that likes to blitz like the Dallas Cowboys means one thing. He's going to get one-on-one coverage on the outside, and that's his chance to make big plays. As far as Quincy Carter goes, all he's been asked to do for the Dallas Cowboys is manage football games. Dump the ball off, protect the football, take care of it. He's got to move to another level tonight. Tonight, Quincy Carter's going to have to make plays with his arms. And tonight, Michael, Quincy Carter gets to move a little bit further ahead in the class.
All right, Joe, if they had the Coach of the Year voting tonight, it could come out in a first-place tie between Bill and Bill. Paul, that's because they've both done a brilliant job.
Well, Bill Parcells expects and demands that his team has respect for this game. He doesn't want any of his players to feel comfortable in their position, because if they don't play hard, he's going to cut them. Young guys like Quincy Carter know that they are playing for a Hall of Fame coach, a guy that wins championships. They're 7-2. These guys are seizing the opportunity now. For Bill Belichick, there's no frills about this guy. He's just a pure, good football coach. And, you know, they started 40 different guys so far this year. 6 of them were rookies. They're 7-2. The reason they're 7-2, they have depth and experience.
Paul, we've heard so much all week about this coaching matchup, and it is unique. Susie Culber looks into it when we come back.
Next.
This holiday season,
I said next. This is not the DMV.
if you're looking for a movie with warmth,
Every single thing about you is ugly.
cheers,
Sweet Jews for Jesus.
and goodwill towards men,
Get him out of here.
What do you mean, get him out of here?
Got some lip on you, midget.
Yeah? Well, these lips were on your wife last night.
keep looking.
It's not real.
Well, it was real. I got sick and all the hair fell out.
How'd you get sick?
I loved a woman that wasn't clean.
Oh, no.
Bad Santa, rated R. In theaters Wednesday, November 26th.
The new Braun Free Glider automatically dispenses a protective shaving conditioner, reducing the risk of abrasion, giving a clean, close shave. Braun, designed to make a difference.
Sometimes you need a little help staying in the game. Introducing new Levitra. It's a new choice, and it's here now. Ask your doctor if a free sample is right for you. Ask about new Levitra.
Are you up for a challenge? Then log on to ESPN.com, keyword Porsche, and take the Porsche Performance Challenge. You could win a trip to Houston to celebrate the big game and have lunch with a football legend. Welcome back to Foxborough, a showdown between two first-place teams, the Cowboys and the Patriots. Visa presents ESPN Skycam. Innovative technology on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Visa Skycam provides some of the most unique and memorable images ever seen from angles no other single camera in the world can achieve. We're excited to bring it to you every Sunday night. And you can bet Skycam will give us a great look at the chess match between tonight's coaches. For the emotional side of their relationship, here's Susie.
Mike, it's a soap opera type story that's dominated the headlines. Everyone trying to sort out how Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick could go from a highly successful professional relationship to a not so warm personal relationship. Intriguing? You bet. So follow along. They were together for 15 years. The relationship of head coach and assistant began with the Giants, where they won 2 Super Bowls. They were reunited in New England in 1996, a season that for Parcells and owner Robert Kraft was strained from the start. Parcells wanted complete control of personnel decisions, something Kraft refused to relinquish.
They want you to cook the dinner. At least they ought to let you shop for some of the groceries. Okay?
Despite that, they made it to the Super Bowl, but Parcells didn't fly home with the team, a message that his relationship with Kraft was permanently severed. Parcells took Belichick along with him to the Jets. After 3 years, Belichick had become a hot property. Parcells, ready for retirement, went to great lengths to ensure that the man he had groomed for years would be his successor in New York, as Parcells stayed on as director of football operations. Belichick was head coach of the Jets for a day.
I just don't feel at this time that I can lead the Jets with the 100% conviction that I need to into the future, into the year 2000.
A short time later, he was head coach in New England, to the delight of Robert Kraft, who was now willing to give his new coach total control. just as Parcells had demanded years before. The Jets were humiliated, and although Parcells may have understood Belichick's motivation, it was perceived as a double cross, compounded by a Super Bowl championship for Belichick and Kraft a year later. This was the pregame interaction between the two coaches. From our view, nothing. This doesn't even register as an acknowledgement. All week, both coaches took the high road. This certainly fuels the fire. They'll let their players do the talking for them.
The stock market has changed, and this time we're going to change with it.
Well, I'm doing more homework now, and I need information I can trust.
And that's why we developed Schwab Equity Ratings.
I don't want to make the same mistakes I made in the past.
Schwab Equity Ratings are fact-based evaluations of a stock's potential performance.
I want a better way to find quality stocks.
And right now, we'll send you a free sample of Schwab Equity Ratings for 3 stocks of your choice. Just call 1-888-8-SCHWAB and discover a better way to get a clear perspective on your investment decisions.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Bill Parcells has won 2 Super Bowls in a magnificent career. He would be in the Hall of Fame, except he keeps coming back to coach again. But 5 years after he's done, he'll be there.
You know, you're not talking about 2 social butterflies anyway.
No.
I mean, you know, Bill Parcells is focused on this football game, as is Bill Belichick. They both know what's at stake. You don't want to get lost in this thing between the coaches and realize that these are 2 7-2 football teams. And, of course, with Miami winning, this game becomes equally as important for the Patriots.
And as Paul McGuire said earlier in the week, neither one of them are going to make a tackle tonight. Adam Vinatieri will kick off for New England. Derek Ross and Zuriel Smith are deep to receive. That's Ross, 21, averaging nearly 25 yards a return.
All the hype is over with now. Now we can play a football game.
And it has all the markings of a great one.
New England for the first time wearing the new silver jerseys in front of a sellout crowd in Foxborough. And we are underway. Smith on the return, straight up the middle to the 28-yard line. The Cowboys offense has a good run blocking line anchored by 7-time Pro Bowler Larry Allen. He's fighting injuries to stay in the lineup. A big play receiver core, and former Patriot Terry Glenn has the most catches on the club with 33 and the most touchdowns with 5. The Cowboys' most improved player, Quincy Carter. He has managed the offense well and cut down on his mistakes.
And Joey Galloway will not be dressed tonight for Dallas.
And that's a big loss for the Dallas Cowboys. So it'll be Glenn and Bryant as the starting wide receivers. Hambrick gets the first carry, cuts it to the outside. Horse collar there at the 32. The Pats defense has survived multiple injuries. Richard Seymour, a Pro Bowler, is always around the ball and a terrific inside rusher. In his 13th season, Roman Pfeiffer may be having his most consistent year. 79 tackles, number 2 on the team. And Ty Law has played with a bad ankle all year long and still goes man-to-man with the best. He is a 3-time Pro Bowl pick. 2 tight ends for the Cowboys. Hambrick on the toss. Vrabel got a piece of him, and down he goes near a first down.
Well, you know, when you have an offensive line as big as the Dallas Cowboys, and you've got guys like Garrod and Young at 320, 325 on the right side, you just toss the ball, and Hambrick is not a small guy either at 235. You get them all going. They want to run the football. You see the carries this year, 314 this season, most in the NFL. Bill Parcells does it for a couple of reasons. Number one, that's his style. Secondly, he wants to protect Quincy Carter a little bit and not put too much of the burden on his shoulders.
And as long as you can run the ball and pick up 4 and 5 yards at a time, you might as well just continue on doing it all night long.
That's the other thing, is the likelihood of the mistakes, and that's the one thing that this offensive line has to be careful of, that they don't get in 1st and 15s and 1st and 20s. As long as they keep it manageable, they should be fine.
Of course, everybody thinks this is the only way Bill Parcells plays football. When he went to New England, he said, I've got Drew Bledsoe. I'm not crazy. I'm throwing that thing.
Put it up almost 700 times in a season.
3rd and inches opening possession for the Cowboys. They bring in an extra blocker, Jamar Martin, number 34. Hambrick will be the tailback. And Quincy Carter spending a long time calling a play.
I'll tell you, in my experience in the past, when someone spent a long time calling a play, it's most of the time it's a pass, but I doubt it here.
They go to Hambrick. He lowers his shoulders. Seymour has him, but he got the first down. Troy Hambrick last year angered a lot of people when he popped off about playing time behind the legend Emmitt Smith, and Emmitt was none too happy about it. But he did everything he could to teach Troy Hambrick what you have to do to be a successful running back. And when Emmitt went to Phoenix, he said the last thing he told Hambrick, someday there's going to be a 23-year-old come in and try to take your job. Do not turn your back on it. It shows a lot of class from Emmitt Smith, and Troy Hambrick heard those words and has apologized profusely for what happened last year.
You know, they just ran the ball up the middle, and on this team, and Ted Washington is now back with New England. He is the guy in the middle. If you're going to run, you don't want to run at him because it automatically takes 2 guys to block him.
And I also think Troy Hambrick is the type of a back that the more he carries the ball, the more comfortable he's going to be. He'll probably split time with Adrian Morrell a little bit.
That Patriots rush defense, which was shredded a year ago, has moved up to 7th in the NFL in spite of all the injuries. Carter to throw for the first time under pressure. Got rid of it in a nice fingertip catch by Jason Witten.
Boy, I'll tell you, this was all Quincy Carter, and he gets to the outside. I mean, he can see the pressure on him, and then he has enough presence of mind to find Witten coming out underneath. There's 82 coming underneath. Watch. Look at his throw. That looks not a little bit like Favre. That's a little bit like Favre throwing back and up.
Whoa, Paul. Not
a little.
Don't quite go there yet. What a terrific catch by Witten, too. Trying to get the first down. Coach Parcells says, look, it's a first down. No, it's not.
Bill Parcells does not toss around the word great, but he said of Jason Witten, I think he got a chance to be a great tight end. He's got the speed to get deep, and you've already seen his hands. Well, another measurement, again, short.
The other thing is you can usually look at the roster of a team and decide what they want to do. Bill Parcells has 4 tight ends on this roster. That'll tell you that he expects to pound the football at you.
And make no mistake, we found this out last night talking. He calls the plays. He being Bill Parcells.
Quarterback keeper across midfield into Patriots territory. Let's check in with Susie.
Mike, given Bill Parcells' penchant for being hard on his quarterbacks, it was surprising to hear Quincy Carter say he's enjoying it. He explains his mom was that way, as well as his high school coach. He thrives on it. He gravitates toward it. He believes having someone on his back brings out the best in him. He looks at Bill's return to the game and the opportunity to be coached by a future Hall of Famer as a blessing. One thing he certainly doesn't want to do is disappoint Bill Parcells.
Susie, except the first time Bill Parcells met Quincy Carter, he said, son, your social life is over. That was a little hard. Hambrick. And Willie McGinnis got a piece of him, and Teddy Bruschi finished up.
Joe, I think they're going to have a problem seriously trying to run wide on these guys. And the reason why they're going to do that, Willie McGinnis, you're going to see him at the end of the line. He'll be up on the line. Watch him stay out there. He gets out, beats the block, and makes the tackle. What is happening because of Quincy Carter bootlegging and running around? The defensive end on the side that he's going to come to, on both sides, they're staying home. So I think it's going to be difficult to get to the outside.
And they've got Washington back off the injury list to play that nose tackle in a 3-4 alignment. 2nd and 11. And around Antonio Bryant, and Bryant only gets to the 48-yard line. Rodney Harrison, the big free agent pickup from San Diego, in on the stop.
Rodney Harrison makes his play, but Vrabel actually sells himself inside. He's number 50, but watch Rodney Harrison. Look at him go with his feet. Man, I tell you, that is an outstanding play. He knows he hasn't got the speed to catch him. So he just takes a swipe at his leg, kicks one leg into the other, and knocks him down. Nice play.
The 82nd tackle of the year for Rodney Harrison. He leads the club. Zuriel Smith, number 87, comes in as a third wide receiver on 3rd and 9. Over the head of Carter. Trying to throw on the run and throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, but that was a very smart play by Quincy Carter. That's what I referred to in the open, talking about managing football games. He avoided a very big negative play by trying to make too much. Matt Lear just sends it right over his head, bounces off his finger. But look at the presence. He doesn't rush. He doesn't get excited. He knows he's got athletic ability, and then he just throws it away.
Toby Goen, who has done a nice job of kicking the ball inside the 20, will punt. Hasn't had much of an average this year. Kevin Falk on the poor kick says get away from it. There is a marker down as the ball kicks out of bounds near the 20.
It should be into the quarterback.
Should be running into the kicker.
That's all it'll be into the kicker. It'll only be a 5-yard penalty.
It should be.
And not a first down if it's only 5.
Please don't plead your case. You ran into him.
No. They were just checking to see what it is.
Not 15. It's 5-yard.
That was a bump.
Running into the kicker, number 30. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
That's Gerard Cherry, the veteran special teams player.
Well, they had a block on because they sent about 9 guys.
Third most penalties in the NFL this year. Almost 9 per game.
Bill Belichick has one bugaboo about his football team. It's the amount of penalties. Everything else is correctable. This has just been on all year.
Falk waits inside the 10. Goen hangs it high again. Falk comes up. Diving fair catch at the 20-yard line. Tom Brady and the Patriots offense will start from there when we come back to Foxborough.
Check that safe. Watch 26. I got you, Mike B. It's short 2. Check over. Ready? T.O. Watch T.O. Ready? Go, T.O.'s in motion. Hey, hey. Watch the ball. I thought you were gonna block.
Man, I thought you were gonna run.
We engineered a material behind the dash called quiet steel. Only the new Ford F-150 has it, which means it's the only truck to deliver this. The sound of quality. The sound of the quietest pickup, period. Only this truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
ESPN Sunday NFL Countdown. Inside the playbook, behind the scenes, on the pulse of the NFL. League-leading coverage from Boomer, TJ, Mort, Michael, and Steve.
That's what we're here for.
Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
There is nobody in football that makes the adjustments week to week that Bill Belichick does with his defense.
Now keep in mind, he's had 2 weeks to prepare for the Dallas Cowboys because the Patriots are coming off a bye. As a matter of fact, this is the 3rd straight team that the Cowboys have played that are coming off a bye.
Antoine Smith is the deep man behind Brady, and he'll get the call for a couple up the middle. Up front for New England because of injury, Pro Bowl center Damian Woody has moved to guard. He has been terrific there. David Givens had the biggest game of his career in the Pats' last win, 87 yards receiving against Denver, including the game-winning score. And Tom Brady has repeatedly come through in the clutch. He's getting hot, too. 6 touchdown passes, only 1 interception in his last 3 games. Antoine Smith off the left side, nailed Dat Win after he got a couple. For the Cowboys' #1 ranked defense, 3-time Pro Bowler Leroy Glover gets a great inside push. 3 years ago, he led the league in sacks. Dat Win, who you just saw, is playing at a Pro Bowl level. Undersized in the middle, he more than compensates with his effort and toughness. And an outstanding secondary led by 5-time Pro Bowl selection Darren Woodson. He is the Cowboys' all-time leading tackler. Kevin Falk will check in on 3rd and 6.
If the Cowboys hold true to form, they should be blitzing here.
They've done it all year, but they come with 4 this time. Brady to Falk in the flat. Needs 5 more yards and won't get it. Singleton, the free agent from Tampa Bay, with a sure tackle.
That's what happens when you expect a team to blitz and they don't blitz and they put everybody else out in coverage. They only came with 4.
And you only have 3 guys out on a route. The other thing is, the one thing that jumped out to me while I studied the film of the Dallas Cowboys defense is everybody on that defense tackles well. Their corners, their safeties, their linebackers.
Zuriel Smith waits for Ken Walter's punt. Joey Galloway, in addition to being a starting wide receiver, has been their kick returner. Walter has struggled all year, and this is a poor kick, and takes a bounce straight back at him. A 26-yard punt by the veteran. And Don Davis was downfield to down it before it did any more damage. The chess game between Parcells and Belichick continues.
You've been injured in an accident.
Commercial.
So, what's for dinner?
Remember that cute little pink blouse that I was telling you about the other day? You know, the one with the thing. Turkey pot pie.
Fast forward your wife and skip recorded commercials. Wow. Now you can get a Dish Player digital video recorder with up to 100 hours of tapeless recording for only $99 with free standard professional installation. Call now to take advantage of this special offer. Ask how it can be free.
Think it's hard to lose weight and get in shape? Think you have to go to a gym or exercise so hard it hurts and so long you tire out? Well, think again.
Introducing the Tread Climber by Nautilus, a machine so effective we guarantee results in just 30 days.
In one short workout, the Tread Climber burns twice as many calories as high-tech treadmills.
The secret is the unique dual treadles that let you step up as you move forward, so you do twice the work in one effortless motion.
Get the body you want in half the time.
Now you can own a Tread Climber with no money down and affordable monthly payments. It's made in the USA by Nautilus and is backed by a 5-year warranty.
Just 3 short workouts a week on the Tread Climber will get you into the best shape of your life.
Check out the next evolution in home fitness, the Tread Climber. Call now for a free video or DVD, or visit us at nautilusdirect.com today.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by NikeGridiron.com. HP Technology Services and People help make more things more possible. And the next Ford F-150, built Ford tough.
That's the USS Constitution, the warship completed in 1797, the oldest commissioned warship afloat. I know what it takes to repair my year-old boat. I'd hate to get the bill for that one.
I was the executive officer on that.
Paul served on that.
2 years.
Cowboys true to form on that first drive. Out of 9 plays, they ran the ball 7 times. They'll start this drive with 2 tight ends, Witten and Campbell. Hambrick lowers his shoulder, ran into Seymour, bounced off, and gang tackled at the 48.
When you look at the New England Patriots on defense, what they want to do is they're going to take away what they perceived and believed to be the most dangerous aspect of the Dallas Cowboy offense. In this case, I think without Joey Galloway on the field, it's Terry Glenn. And Terry Glenn got a lot of attention in the first series. Now, Parcells really likes to try and throw the football, run the football. Belichick is considered a defensive wizard. They both know each other so well that you find yourself trying to counter what the other guy's thinking and get away from your own normal habits. It doesn't look like Parcells has done that.
Neither team has really taken much of a chance yet. Here's Richie Anderson out in the flat. Ty Law had it kick off his chest. Nearly got it the second time, and he was right there if Richie Anderson had made the catch.
Bobby Hamilton was right in Quincy Carter's face. Bobby Hamilton, number 91 on the right-hand side of your screen. Here he comes. He's in his face now. Quincy Carter threw that ball a little bit behind. Look at Ty Law. Almost makes the interception. Almost, it's impossible. He hits him in the face, then on the shoulder. Ball's in the air. No chance.
As this game goes on, you're going to see Romeo Crennel, the defensive coordinator of the Patriots, start to throw a little bit more at Quincy Carter and make him stop and think and look.
3 wide receivers on 3rd and 8. Seymour from behind, and that one is thrown into the middle of the line. It hit a Patriot incomplete. Now they're going to say it hit one of the Cowboys.
Hit an offensive lineman, Michael, and it doesn't make any difference. If it hits an offensive lineman, he's an eligible receiver, and it's a penalty.
And they're standing right beside Ryan Young, number 75. He looked like the guy who got it in the back of the head.
And he hasn't been playing a little bit, and I know he hasn't been working on his hands while he's been out.
If he had to work on his neck.
Tom White, our referee.
Illegal touching of the forward pass. Offensive lineman. Pass interference. Defense, number 82. The penalty's all set. Replay 3rd down.
Number who?
82.
Right, here comes the pressure. I didn't see 82, but here comes the pressure right up the middle. They just hold right inside. When they rush the passer, and that's Seymour, Richard Seymour. Look at this. He's there. There's with the ball. Hits him right in the rump. '82 is a tight end for New England. He wouldn't be out there. I don't think he's going both ways, do you?
Not unless they're really doing some substitution we haven't studied.
Well, you said they're going to throw a strange defense at him. This would really be strange.
Again, these are not the situations that the Dallas Cowboys want to find themselves in. 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 8s, 3rd and longs.
Most of the yardage the Cowboys have gotten in the passing game has come off play fakes, set up.
They called it on an offensive player.
Jason Witten, number 82.
2 offensive penalties, and that's loss of down.
Bill Parcells getting an explanation. So they got the 82 right, but the uniform color was wrong.
Well, you know, the Patriots have switched to silver, so they're a little bit closer
a little confusing
to the Cowboy blue.
Bowen will punt. And Kevin Falk waits outside his 10.
I wish they could try to kick it short and just kick it out of bounds and kick it hard. Hey.
Falk at the 14. Had a little seam, took it up to the 24. 10-yard return after a punt of 37. Scoreless first quarter in Foxborough between 2 7-2 teams.
Neither snow, nor rain, nor heat.
Hey, Brett.
Nor temporary loss of gravity, nor grumpy robots made of old washing machines, nor black holes that swallow the entire known universe will keep the U.S. Postal Service from its appointed rounds. HP technology helps make sure the mail never stops. HP, invent.
We didn't just give the new Ford F-150 more horsepower. We gave it the most low-end torque. Why did we push farther than anyone else? So you could do more than anyone else. Only this truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Start your day with something new.
I wake up to cold pizza.
It's guys in the know, girls with the down low. A little mayhem in the AM.
You don't get this at any other morning show.
Wake up to cold pizza, the morning show with everything. Weekday mornings at 7 on ESPN 2.
Welcome back to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Cowboys and Patriots. No score, 6:43 to go. First quarter, Patriots with the ball for the second time. They'll start from their own 25-yard line. Brady sees the Cowboys come to the line, indicating blitz. They do come. Brady steps up and guns it wide. Intended for Deion Branch, and he couldn't handle it. Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick, longtime associates, out for warm-ups. Parcells looking toward the sideline. Belichick glancing in his direction. Neither acknowledged the other.
Could have said, "You want some gum?"
He just said no. He just said no.
No, I ain't gum.
They both professed their respect for each other during the week with all the press about their association. Brady with Ellis pressuring him. Gets it out to Christian Fourier, and he crosses the 30.
See, what you saw just on that play, Charlie Wise, the offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots, he was also a part of that staff, and he told me earlier, he told me on Friday, he said, you know, the situation is Bill knows me very well. I know him. Now I have to think about what I want to call, and I have to get out of my routine a little bit going against Parcells and his defense. But you see that they're small up front, the Dallas Cowboys are. They need to bring backers and safeties to put pressure on Tom Brady.
Brady rifles this one to Fourier. First down up at the 41-yard line.
But I'll tell you, this is an excellent throw and catch. Fourier is in the middle of the field, and that's where basically everything is open. When you're blitzing and things are happening, they're going man-to-man. But look in the middle of the field. Look at Fourier. He is wide open in the middle.
Boy, that thing got there in a hurry, didn't it?
Oh, did it ever. Al Singleton is the guy who made a tackle, and that's another one of the guys that Parcells says he likes on defense.
Antoine Smith trying to turn the corner, and that Dallas defense tough to run on wide with so much speed.
Every yard the Dallas Cowboy defense gives up is going to be fought for. And New England is not going to do it. You see, they're number one, 15 points allowed, 235 in yards, 149 passing yards allowed. Keep in mind, in 9 football games, they've given up an average of 6 points in the first half of every one of those games.
It has been a marvelous unit, but they know this game and the next 3 will really be a test for their schedule. A lot of people wondering if Dallas is for real. We may find out tonight.
Here they come.
Tried to set up a screen, but Falk was caught up in the middle of it. Dallas did a nice job defending it.
You know what you're seeing more and more of during football games now, and I saw it a few times today, is when you're trying to run a middle screen now, and as soon as the lineman sees that back, not blocking somebody, but sneaking up inside, they grab him. And they don't let him out.
And with the Cowboys, because they bring so many blitzes, if you can sneak somebody out, there's going to be very few people to stop him from going to the goal line. So it's almost a risk-reward type of situation. Take the chance, maybe it works.
3rd and 9 for Brady. They need to reach the Dallas 48-yard line for a first down.
Here comes the beat.
Blitz, they pick it up very well. Brady with a lot of time. Wide open, Deion Branch.
You know,
and if you blitz and don't get there, you got a problem.
Wk11 told us yesterday, we said, you know, you blitz a lot. He looked us right in the eye and he says, when you live by the blitz, you're going to die by the blitz. And here's a situation where they picked up the blitz and they were all, watch this line of scrimmage. Look where the blue shirts are.
This is a 2-man route. Everybody else is blocking. Charlie Wise, what a great call. Sometimes you want to bait defenses into blitzing, and then you just sit back there. When you've got a guy like Tom Brady, and he's at the top of his game like he's been playing, hard to stop.
First down, New England. Brady with a play fake. Throws it away. The only guy he had out there was Patrick Pass.
If you know, when Leroy Glover looked at us yesterday and told us about live by the blitz and die by the blitz, on that last play, not this one now, the one before that, he was the only guy that was in the backfield. He's the only guy that made it by the line of scrimmage. The rest of the guys were still on the line of scrimmage when that ball was thrown.
One of the areas of the New England Patriots that doesn't get talked about, and something Bill Belichick, I'm sure, very proud of, is the way their offensive line is played, especially with the rookie Dan Copen playing in the middle.
Dallas has been really good in the red zone. The Patriots have not been. This carry will go down to the 5. And keep in mind, this is an offensive line for New England that's missing 2 starters. Mike Compton and Adam Clem were hurt earlier in the year, so they have a rookie. Dan Copen is the center, and Tom Ashworth, who was a third-string guy playing right tackle.
The thing you said when we got here last Thursday, Michael, is just that, 40 guys have started for this team. They've had more injuries than anyone else in the National Football League, and 6 of guys that started were rookies. I mean, it's incredible the job that they have done.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Brady retreats, throws to the corner of the end zone, and throws it away.
3 ain't bad.
In a game like this,
3 might be pretty good.
Well, when you've got 2 good defenses, you just don't want to give up opportunities to put points on the board, and that's exactly what Tom Brady did. If he could get outside and threaten the corner, you take the throw. If not, you throw it away. You talk about a guy that
Terry, who has hit 75% of his field goals this year, will come on.
Tom Brady, after the year he had last year, being the Super Bowl wonder kid and all that struggle last year, has really played consistent football for this team.
And he has come through in the clutch. Terry to take the lead, and it's perfect. The big play in this drive, Deion Branch wide open over the middle, and Tom Brady threw a strike for 46 yards to set up the field goal.
With the offense on the field, Lynch was left free to browse potential outfits for next week's game.
Get whatever's on the field by calling 877-NFL-SHOP for your free team catalog.
Having trouble sleeping? Well, you're not alone. Nearly 70 million of us Americans can't get enough sleep. And no wonder with all the stress today. Now there's a natural way to get the rest you need. It's called the Nautilus Sleep System. Nautilus's unique air chamber design allows you to personalize your comfort every night, just by inflating or deflating the pressure. And your spouse is going to love this bed too, because the dual zones allow them to control their own comfort. You got to call this toll-free number now to get a free video that tells you all about it. Now you can get one of these great mattresses for as little as $25 a month. And Nautilus lets you actually sleep on the bed for 90 nights to make sure you really love it. Hey, a better mattress means better rest, naturally. Call now for your free video or visit them online at greatsleep.com and start getting the natural sleep you need.
You love movies, you need the Stars Super Pack. 8 great movie channels, over 400 different movies each month, just $11.99 or less a month. From new hits on Stars to Hollywood favorites on Encore. The Stars Super Pack has the best movie choices for everyone in the family. 8 great channels, over 400 different movies each month, unbeatable choice and an unbeatable price, just $11.99 or less a month. Call now and ask for Stars. 1-800-333-DISH.
The Patriots have the first quarter lead at home, 3:05 to go after an impressive drive, 70 yards in 10 plays. Deion Branch had the big one, a 46-yard gain on the pass from Tom Brady. Derek Ross at the 9. Flag is down as Ross spins to the outside, taken out of bounds at the 30. And now we'll check the marker with referee Tom White.
There's 3 flags on the field. Everybody saw the same thing.
They all picked him up and threw him into one little pile. You're right, all 3 officials told him the same thing, and I'm imagining it's the same person.
Holding, number 56, during the return. It's a 10-yard penalty. That'll be a first down. Timeout.
That's the linebacker Brady James who committed the violation, and that will get Dallas all the way back to its own 11.
Only one truck has the strongest, toughest frame of any full-size pickup. That truck is the new Ford F-150. It has a fully boxed frame with crossbars welded through the side rails, all of which gives you the highest payload. Only this truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Hey, Donovan! Surprise!
It's not my yard.
Oops. If you really want tickets to the game, just use your Visa. It's the card you know they'll take everywhere you want to be. Visa. Hey, you! Proud sponsor of the NFL.
Great teams are often forged over the hot coals of adversity. On the eve of the big meeting, the third quarter numbers suddenly changed. But so did your presentation, automatically. You have the new Microsoft Office system. It's a Cinderella story.
It's not what you think. It just sounded better. Freaking surreal. Are we done?
Britney Spears in the Zone, ABC Monday.
It's Sunday night, and we're in New England, where the Patriots lead the Cowboys 3-0. Dallas has been true to its form. They have run the ball most of the time. In fact, 2/3. And haven't done much with it. Carter, short drop to throw on first down, and throws out to his tight end, battling for yardage across the 20 to the 21 goes Dan Campbell. Let's go to Susie.
Well, Mike, you guys mentioned it in the first series. Bill Belichick's game plan is to shut down the opposing team's top star. For the Dallas Cowboys, it's been Terry Glenn. Bill Parcells transforming him from an unwanted entity to their most productive pass catcher, but not so far. The Patriots taking turns shutting him down, from Tyrone Poole to Ty Law, Willie McGinnis, and then the rookie Eugene Wilson. Terry Glenn has not been able to get going tonight.
And Susie, he said he couldn't wait to get back here because he hates everything about New England. Carter throwing on a run to Hambrick. And Hambrick taken down by Harrison at the 36. But that's a first down for the Dallas Cowboys.
Boy, what a great play by Quincy Carter. This is all Quincy Carter. You talk about seeing things. He says, people don't think I'm seeing a lot of things. Well, I'll tell you what you can see is when you see a guy going to nail you. McGinnis right there. Now just watch what he does. He throws back against his body. Look at this throw that he makes, Joe. And this is a perfect spiral. Bang! You can't throw any better than that.
But he also like you said, Paul, he sees everything in front of him, so he's not worried about an off linebacker picking it off.
Richie Anderson is the man in motion. He'll lead Hambrick. Hambrick cuts it back and is taken down by Harrison at the 38-yard line. Harrison almost the exact kind of player that Lawyer Malloy was for so long here. The great strong safety was released only 5 days before the season started and caused such a controversy.
And the guy that's playing his position, Eugene Wilson, came here as a second-round pick as a corner. And Bill Belichick said very simply, I asked him, why is Eugene playing safety? He said, because I didn't want him standing next to me. He's one of my best players, and I wanted him on the field.
First time they told him he was moving to safety, he says, I thought it was a joke, but nobody else was laughing. Here comes the blitz. Draw play. Stuffed back at the 35.
Oh,
Richard Seymour was there and had a lot of help. Bruschi was in the pile.
Watch 93, Richard Seymour. Bang, he makes a move back to the inside. There's just no chance of anybody blocking him. And that's Larry Allen. We're talking about one of the best guards in the game.
And that's the other thing about the New England defense is you can put Seymour on the nose, you can put Ted Washington on the nose, you can put Dan Klecko on the nose, and you almost wind up with a 100-pound differential going from Williams to Klecko with Seymour in the middle.
Bill Belichick has built a very versatile defense. Carter under pressure again, steps up, takes off. Spins to the 41-yard line, not enough for the first down. And taken down by Roman Pfeiffer, the outside linebacker. A rapid first quarter here at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, and it's 3-0 Pats.
Monday Night Countdown delivered by UPS, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
In the red zone, the best way to defend against the play is to stop it before it starts. That's why I use new Red Zone deodorant from Old Spice.
Red Zone's new odor defense system helps stop odor before it starts, and the scent lasts longer than the leading brand.
New Red Zone deodorant from Old Spice.
I'm shooting high, got my eye on a star in the sky.
Body sprays from Old Spice. Spray it on in the morning, spice things up.
Nice package.
Body sprays from Old Spice. Spice things up.
They thought they found the perfect house, but it was the house that found them.
She looks like Mom.
That's interesting. On November 26th, they'll have to break the mansion curse.
You know they have dead people in the backyard.
Before the clock strikes 13.
Dark spirits come forth.
Wait till I leave before the dark spirits come out.
Eddie Murphy. The Haunted Mansion.
Coming soon.
Rated PG.
The expectations are simple. The expectation is high. They both got a knack for putting teams together, putting schemes together to win. You have to be a genius to do that.
3-0 Patriots as we start the second quarter. Dallas facing a punting situation. So far, advantage Belichick with a 3-0 lead over Bill Parcells. Toby going to kick. And Tyrone Poole rates his 24. End over end and returnable. To the 31-32 line, a 9-yard return. Our Sunday stud question, who's the coach of the year thus far? Bill Belichick, 7-2. John Fox, 8-2 with the Panthers. Marvin Lewis, after they knocked off Kansas City today, is 5-5. Is it Bill Parcells or Dick Vermeil, who suffered the first loss for Kansas City today? You can vote right now by logging on to ESPN.com, and we'll give you the results in the fourth quarter.
I think they're tough picks up there.
Aren't they ever?
They really are. That's 5 really good coaches that have done outstanding jobs.
Brady with time, double pumps and then throws complete. A flag is down after Gibbons caught the ball.
Tell us, Tom.
Illegal contact on the defense.
In the last series, you saw Tom Brady taking advantage of the blitz. The Cowboys came. Roy Williams has stepped up. You've got David Gibbons there. You've got Deion Branch outside making the move. It's a 2-man route. They block 8. There's the set. Slide over. You see Branch cut across and underneath. Newman couldn't stay with them, and now it's just a foot race. But those are the kind of opportunities that come up when a team blitzes.
Nice pick by Gibbons.
Just inadvertent.
Tom Brady, as you saw, has already hit twice as many plays, over 20 yards this year, that he did all of last season.
The reason why he's able to do that is I was talking to him on the yesterday at practice, and he said he's getting the ball up quicker, and by getting it up quicker, he's given his receivers an opportunity to either run to the ball or run to the space where the ball is going to be or make a play on it. That's why he's able to complete more.
Their best receiver, Troy Brown, not playing tonight because of a leg injury. But this team, if anybody's been able to, has been able to adjust to injuries. Brady short hops one in there that time to Deion Branch. Let's go to Susie.
Well, Mike, I was talking to Charlie Weiss before the game, the Patriots offensive coordinator, and he said the most important thing is not to overcoach. Too many coaches force their own ego on the game plan, but with the relative inexperience and all the injuries to the receiving corps, the #1 thing is that the kids just need to know what's going on. That's first and foremost. He said you won't notice a difference without David Patton and without Troy Brown, that it's going to be seamless tonight.
And that's a marvelous thing to watch, Susie, how they are able to manage that, losing their star players on both sides of the ball. It's a remarkable 7-2. And this one is another strike to Branch. He bobbled it but hung on.
That's the second week in a row they had this happen against the Denver Broncos. This goes right through Kevin Falk's hands, number 33. Watch the throw. You see Falk in the picture. Look at him go up. He goes up. It goes right through his hands and right into Deion Branch's hands. It happened against the Denver Broncos, and it happened again tonight.
Tremendous concentration by Branch, but the play's going to be wiped out.
And what is that? A bird taking off? I got to hear this.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 83 on the offense. They made the first down yardage, therefore will penalize 15 yards. It'll be first down and 10.
You can only assume that is taunting after Branch made the catch.
Well, you're talking about a second-year player. That's the one thing you don't get. You don't get that with a Troy Brown because of his 11 years. And that's a good call by the officials. They're very consistent about the taunting.
Backs it up to the 50. But it will be first and 10. Falk. Boy, coming up from the secondary like a missile was Roy Williams. Fortunately for Falk, he didn't catch him square on.
I love, you were talking to Parcells about Roy Williams, number 31. You know, he says, now this guy will hit you now. I love when they talk like, this guy will hit you now.
Well, he also said he's one biscuit away from being a linebacker. Yeah. When the truth of the matter is, he's as big as Dexter Copley. Copley's 236, and Williams is 235.
Yeah, but he runs a little faster than Copley.
So that's that one little biscuit part.
Brady against the four-man rush down the middle. This time, Branch can't hang on as he ran into a crowd.
Well, when he ran in there, there were 4 blue shirts. And I can assure you, he saw 2. Here comes Branch over the middle. On the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see what Brady sees. Now look at the guys that are there.
Look at the throw, though. Gets right over Al Singleton's little pinky and puts it right in the soft pocket of the defense.
He's thrown as well as he ever has, I'll tell you that.
6 out of 12 so far, approaching 100 yards. 3rd and 7 here. Now Brady wants to change the play. Has time and goes deep, up for grabs down the sideline, intercepted by Newman, but out of bounds.
You know what's amazing about Dallas's defense, Joe, and I know they blitz a lot on 3rd down, but they're playing the basic 4-3-4 defense.
Yeah.
On, you know, they don't care. Look at this play. Look at this play here by Newman, going up in the air. Well, he's out of bounds, but that is an athletic move.
Well, that's why he was Dallas's #1 pick out of K-State. And, you know, of course, Bill Parcells made him his water boy during training camp, and that's just to let the world know that Bill's in charge.
He was the Thorpe Award winner for the best defensive back in the country, and a lot of scouts rated him as the best pick in the draft. Dallas got him #5 overall. Zuriel Smith back for the punt, backs away from it, and it takes a nice New England bounce. It'll be downed inside the 10-yard line. A punt of 41, touched by Matt Chatham. 12:19 to go in the first half. A strategic defensive battle so far.
Enter Southwest Airlines take your team to the Super Bowl sweepstakes, and you could win a trip to the Super Bowl for you and 10 friends.
Ooh, how'd he make the list?
Brother-in-law.
Naturally.
Enter at southwest.com/Super Bowl.
There's a state where there's fun around every corner, where all cars are turbocharged,
And there's a direct link between the right foot and a smile. Maybe that's why people who test drive a Saab usually buy one. This is the state of independence. Welcome.
The turbocharged Saab 9.3 linear sports sedan. Available in the state of independence for as low as $299 a month.
It's the Pro Bowl, baby! All right, wonderful! Hawaii! Aloha! Unplug that! Unplug that!
Too much? How'd you get here? Text message it. What? I'll show you.
Text message a vote for your favorite player to go to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii. And you could go too. Come into an AT&T wireless store for a Motorola V60 iPhone so you can text your vote.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. Saab, welcome to the state of independence. And Motorola, intelligence everywhere.
Back at this beautiful stadium, Robert Kraft, the owner, spent $325 million of his own money on this complex. Said it was tougher getting this built than it was winning a Super Bowl.
Now he's done both.
Carter to throw from his end zone under pressure. Still looking, and throws complete to Bryant up at the 13-yard line.
This is something that Quincy Carter has done through the first part of this ball game. He's been moving around in the pocket. There he feels the pressure from Vrabel. Manages to get it out to Jason Witten. Now feels pressure from Willie McGinnis. Slides over, finds Troy Hambrick. Now if you can't find anybody open and you're still getting pressure from Willie McGinnis, tuck it away and run. Now, there he is in the pocket and out of the pocket. And I think this really helps him. He's a better pocket passer than he is outside scrambling around. But what he's doing, and that's why his percentage is so low outside the pocket, is he's throwing the ball away, and that's smart.
2nd and 5. Back to the ground game with Hambrick. Tries to turn it left and then dives forward up past the 17-yard line. For more on Quincy, here's Susie.
Mike, the big question about Quincy Carter from this point on in the season is his staying power. Because up till this point, he's never started more than 8 NFL games. This will be his 10th. Bill Parcells talked to him about that this week, that the most important part of the season for him would be November and December. But Quincy is confident that he can last because he is living and breathing football. He's taking care of his body, he's eating right, and he is studying more than he ever thought he had to.
And Susie, Richie Anderson was one of the guys that said Quincy is the first guy at the complex to study film. He is the last guy to leave. And that wasn't necessarily the same case under Dave Campo when he was the head coach.
Yeah, but Bill Parcells still doesn't know about Quincy Carter because he hasn't really gone through a tough time yet. He hasn't thrown a bunch of interceptions. He hasn't lost 3 or 4 ball games. He hasn't had the media all over his rear end. He hasn't had teammates looking out of one eye at him and saying how you're going to do. So he's still growing, and with a little luck, he doesn't have it for quite a while. But it's down the road coming.
3rd and inches for Dallas. Quarterback keeper, and they should have the first down.
Yeah, I really love this play.
Oh, you know, that's because you never played quarterback.
Hey, I did when I was in grade school. Yeah, the reason I like this play is because there's no other handoff. You don't have to go all the way back to the guy in the backfield. Right. You don't. The defensive line can't blow you up. Watch what Quincy Carter does. He stops for a second, lets the center make his block, and then just slides in the hole. All you need is, what, about 8 inches?
And that's the biggest key, is you've got to allow the line to make a block so you can find a crease. I used to get knocked backwards all the time when I did that.
Well, you got knocked dizzy, too.
He had Too Tall Jones and Harvey Martin hit him too many times. Carter out in the flat to Richie Anderson, who's always been a tremendous pass receiver out of the backfield. And when you see coaches go to a different franchise like Bill Parcells has moved, all the time, they go back to their past, and Richie Anderson played for Bill Parcells with the Jets. He knows what he's going to get out of Richie Anderson. He fills a specific need, and he brings him to Dallas.
Yeah, sitting next to him last night, I'm looking at his hands. And man, that guy's got some huge hands.
Well, the thing he's done more for this football team than any place is he's actually carried the ball more, 39 times coming into tonight, as opposed to 26 receptions. That's unusual for him.
It's unusual in the NFL. Fullbacks don't carry the ball anymore.
Not a chance.
You know what I like about this Dallas Cowboy offense? Patience. Parcells, you know, the thing about it is we asked Parcells again, will Quincy Carter come to the line of scrimmage in this game and call audibles? And he said no.
And I think more teams should do it.
No. He's going to call. He's going to run the play they call.
Yeah, and I think more teams should do it. I mean, you would have to say that, you know, these backs of the Cowboys aren't necessarily the most talented in the league. They're pounders. They're plotters. And, you know, if you want to run the football, and he runs it 14 times and throws it 8. I think his choices of passes have been very good. 1st and 10, 2nd and short, throw the ball.
Hambrick 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, gets that running start. Horse collared by Harrison, but makes it up to the 40 anyhow, a gain of about 8 yards. Monday Night Countdown at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN, the best place to get ready for Monday Night Football. Then on ABC, the Monday night game at 9, Hines Ward and the Steelers against Terrell Owens and the 49ers. A couple of teams desperate to get back in their respective races. The other thing that Bill Parcells does so well is he simplifies this game. The first thing he told the Cowboys, these are the things that you shouldn't do. We're going to avoid the obvious mistakes. Now let's find what we do well. And he has identified those things. That's why they're 7-2. And Hambrick has the first down as he gets up to the 44-yard line. The other thing about Bill Parcells, he is as cutting and sarcastic as anyone you will ever be around, and I love it. In March, he asked an offensive lineman how much he weighed. The lineman said 340 pounds. He pointed to the scales and says, let's go see. The lineman got on the scales. It was at 367, and Parcells, boy, you sure gained a lot of weight on a walk over here.
And the footnote to that is the guy came into camp at 345.
Exactly. He's got a way of dealing with people. Play action by Carter. Pretty good protection. Launches it down the middle. Bryant got his hands on it, couldn't hold it. And good coverage by Ty Law.
Boy, Ty Law, you think he can't run? You say he has a bad ankle? I don't think so. If you don't want to play in this game, this kind of game, then you don't want to play football. Ty Law is just absolutely the perfect coverage. Antonio Bryant, it looked like he has touchdown. Look at, watch Ty Law come in, bang, knock the ball away. Boy, is that timing and that speed.
Keep in mind, Antonio Bryant is starting tonight because Joey Galloway's got the ham, and Zuriel Smith is returning punts because Joey Galloway usually does that as well.
Ty Law is still one of the best. Carter with time had to double clutch, goes to Richie Anderson. He's across midfield into New England territory at the 49, 3 yards shy of a first down. Ted Johnson, who's just coming back off the injured list, another one, and Roman Pfeiffer were in on the stop.
Up until that last first down when they threw the ball downfield and almost had a completion, Joe, the first 3 first downs, they got 5 yards, 9 yards, 8 yards on first down.
And that's exactly what Bill Parcells has to have to sort of protect Quincy a little bit. Remember, this drive started on their own 6. This is ours, excuse me, their 8. This is a very impressive drive, even if it doesn't go any further from here.
3rd and 3. Carter takes off, and he got the first down.
There's a flag on a play, and there's going to be holding in the backfield, and it's on number 65, Garrod.
And he really was.
He was holding Richard Seymour.
Richard Seymour beats him on an inside move, and he's got him horse-collared as he takes him to the ground.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you can see Richard Seymour.
Holding, number 65, offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
All right, it's the right guard, Garrod, and Seymour. Seymour is 6'6". Look at number 65 is on the right-hand side of the screen. Here goes Seymour. He beats him to the outside. He's got him beat. And then when you grab him, Quincy Carter steps up. The referee is the man who makes this call because he can see it from the back. Look at the holding. That is holding.
And that's just as good as a sack for a defensive lineman. Bill Parcells did not care for the call or did not care for the play by Garrod.
Especially on 3rd and short. Now they got 3rd and 13.
And this team is not built to convert 3rd and 13s, and they've got a timeout. 3-0 Patriots against the Cowboys.
Start your day with something new. I wake up to cold pizza. It's guys in the know, girls with the down low. A little mayhem in the a.m.
You don't get this at any other morning show.
Wake up to cold pizza, the morning show with everything. Weekday mornings at 7 on ESPN2.
You love movies, you need the Stars Super Pack. 8 great movie channels, over 400 different movies each month, just $11.99 or less a month. From new hits on Stars to Hollywood favorites on Encore. The Stars Super Pack has the best movie choices for everyone in the family. 8 great channels, over 400 different movies each month, unbeatable choice and an unbeatable price. Just $11.99 or less a month. Call now and ask for Stars. 1-800-333-DISH.
Over 1 million understand its strength. It can improve your energy, your shape. This is Bowflex Power Rod technology, and it can only be found on genuine Bowflex equipment, like the new Bowflex Extreme. Now you can get the results you want, the exercises you need, all at an affordable price. You've never seen this Bowflex before. Call 1-800-789-9500 now and get a free video or DVD and check out the new Bowflex Extreme. You can have a high-performance body. Just look for real Bowflex Power Rod technology, proven effective at burning fat and building muscle. Now you can own the new Extreme for no money down and only $19 a month. The Bowflex Extreme is not available in stores. You know you're ready. Let Bowflex help you get there. Call now for a free video or DVD today, because your results matter.
So far, the Patriots tossing a shutout at Bill Parcells and the Dallas Cowboys, and Dallas will be facing a 3rd and 13.
Big thing here, 3rd and 3 or less, they convert all 3 of them. The other 3 they've had after 4 yards, they've not been able to get the first down. This offense isn't built for that yet.
Carter goes to the shotgun. Pressure coming. And throws complete to the 39-yard line. A bullet to Bryant.
How good is this? How good is this? This young man steps up. He reads the blitz coming to his outside.
You saw what happened when they didn't convert, but look at the time he has. And look at how smart he is. Now, this is a kid that everybody considers a running quarterback, but he knows he's not going to be able to pick up 13 yards. He held the ball 5 seconds. Defensive backs cannot cover anybody for 5 seconds. And then Bryant makes an excellent catch on the ball.
7 out of 11 so far for Quincy Carter. Back to the ground with Hambrick. And Hambrick hit immediately by the left end, Bobby Hamilton.
As Quincy Carter talked about, the first big game he played in was a few weeks ago when they were 5-1, went and played Tampa Bay.
That didn't go too well.
He said it didn't go well, but he learned from there. He said, this is the next big test for me. I learned a lot in the Tampa game. He says it's important we get off to a good start early, and you can see his confidence continue to grow and the comfort level that he's having both in the pocket and running this offense.
Well, after this game, they face Carolina, Miami, and Philadelphia. So the tests are going to come in rapid succession. Carter airs this one out. Overthrown for Bryant, covered step for step by Tyrone Poole, who was another big free agent acquisition from Denver this year.
Well, I'll tell you, this offensive line at Dallas, and they are just doing the job at the point of attack. And then you're talking about Poole covering on the outside. Watch this, Brian. This is just step for step. That ball had to be, I don't know where he could have put it to catch it, because Poole had him to the inside.
He could have walked over and handed to him, but it was all over when Tyrone wasn't around to throw it to him at all.
Originally a first-round draft choice of the Carolina Panthers. Another big 3rd down for Quincy Carter. Again, flushed out of the pocket. There's a flag down. He throws incomplete. That was intended for Zuriel Smith.
See, now, if you're the New England Patriots, you cannot commit a stupid foul here like a face mask penalty. I mean, that's just 3rd and 10. You've got them where you want them. They're out of field goal range. You're running down towards the end of the half. Well, that's something against the Cowboys.
Here's Tom White with the explanation.
We have 2 fouls on the play. Illegal use of the hands to the head, number 76 on Dallas. Illegal use of the hands to the head, number 73 on Dallas. Both penalties are declined. Fourth down.
That's both guys on the left-hand side. Flozell Adams, 76. Larry Allen, 73. They must learn that technique together.
Well, you know, that's the second time they've had double penalties on their offense.
Yeah, but the same penalty against the guys standing next to each other.
And did you see the shot of Bill Belichick? He said, "Who said we declined it?"
That's right. He might take it. Because right now you're looking at maybe a 60-yard field goal attempt by Cundiff. Now remember, he's hit 3 out of 4.
Or going for it.
Excuse me, 54-yard.
The announcement, New England has changed their mind and intended to accept the illegal use of the hands. Number 73 is declined. Number 76 is accepted. Third down, 10-yard penalty.
Let me say this. I don't necessarily think that Tom White said it correctly. New England doesn't get a chance to change their mind.
Well, they never accepted or declined before.
Thank you. And I think that's what should have been reported by the officials, that no decision had been made. Now they get the penalty. You don't change your mind once you say yes or no.
Mr. Know-It-All, tell me why Larry didn't get called. They chose Flozell.
Because Flozell was a little bit further behind.
So Larry's been to 7 Pro Bowls.
And Larry's much bigger than all of us. The old guru. There's an old adage about quarterbacks. You blitz the good ones and you play zones against the not so good ones. And Quincy Carter is in the young stage, which means that he's not one of those good ones yet.
And we've got another timeout with 5:16 to go in the half. Still 3-0 New England.
There's a state where there's fun around every corner, where all cars are turbocharged, and there's a direct link between the right foot and a smile. Maybe that's why people who test drive a Saab usually buy one. This is the state of independence. Welcome.
The turbocharged Saab 9.3 linear sports sedan. Available in the state of Independence for as low as $299 a month.
I would have gone vanilla with that sweater.
Ice cream, $3.
I think I would have parked a little closer.
Gas, $22.
Whoa. I think...
Haircut, $30.
What? I would have looked out for the water main. But that's just me.
Monday morning quarterbacks, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
I would have double-bagged it.
Let me just make sure I have this. I will fire grill it over flames. I will not give it silly names. The value meal of which we spoke, you called it fun with fries and fun with a Coke. For 99 cents, it'll also bring you an ornament of thing 1 or thing 2. You'll get extra napkins right and proper. Next window, please. Enjoy your Whopper.
There's something about the way you say that I find irresistible.
Please pull up, sir.
The Cat in the Hat ornaments are here at Burger King. Collect all 6, just 99 cents with any value meal. Come on over. The fire's ready.
ESPN Sunday NFL Countdown. Inside the playbook, behind the scenes, on the pulse of the NFL. League-leading coverage from Boomer, TJ, Mort, Michael, and Steve. That's what we're here for. Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
The Cowboys, as usual, controlling the time of possession because of the way they run the ball. So far, it has not paid off in any points for them, and they face another 3rd and long here, in spite of the disparity in time. Carter deep and knocked away, incomplete.
Well, what a play by Tyrone Poole. Antonio Bryant cannot run past Tyrone Poole. He has got some wheels. 8 years in the league, 5'8", 188 pounds, and just really, really stayed with him stride for stride. Look at that. Now look at how smart he is. He looks back and sticks his hands out, and then coming over at the last minute is Eugene Wilson to help him out, the young rookie.
Well, that's great coverage.
Wow. You know what? And turning around and looking up for the ball makes almost anything he does legal.
Kevin Falk deep for the punt. He'll let it go, and it makes the end zone. They'll start from the 20 after a punt of 46. A game of field position and 1 field goal so far. 3-0 New England.
Start your day with something new.
I wake up to cold pizza.
It's guys in the know, girls with the down low. A little mayhem in the AM.
You don't get this at any other morning show.
Wake up to cold pizza, the morning show with everything. Weekday mornings at 7 on ESPN2.
Property owners, DR's largest 20% off-season savings are now in effect on the amazing DR Field and Brush Mower. Call now, and for a very limited time, you can save up to $579. Now, if you've ever tried to clear an overgrown field or ditch with a handheld brush cutter, you know they're exhausting to use. Take hold of a DR Field and Brush Mower, though, and you've got a whole different story. The DR knocks over brush and saplings up to 2.5 inches thick and chops most everything it cuts. So why let weeds and brush take over? Call 1-800-535-3200 for your free DR Field and Brush Mower catalog and video. There's no obligation, but you must call right now to qualify for our largest 20% off-season savings. That's 1-800-535-3200. Online at drfieldbrush.com.
DR is professional power for homeowners.
Watch and learn.
Come on, we got a hitter.
Come on.
Want to see the rest? Tune in this month to the premiere of The Emperor's Club on Stars, one of 8 great movie channels in the Stars Super PAC. With over 400 different movies each month, all for $11.99 or less a month.
What will your contribution be?
Want to see the rest and more? Call 1-800-333-DISH and order today.
Pat's defensive unit gets a break on the sideline. They have held Dallas scoreless here in the first half as their offense will take over at the 20.
Keep in mind, this Cowboy defense has held every opponent they've played to just 6 points in the first half of games. So far, they've got New England at 3.
Antoine Smith as they try to establish a running game, pushing the pile up to the 25-yard line. If you just joined us, you have only missed one big play, and that was Brady with a 46-yard strike to Deion Branch, who was wide open, and that set up the game's only score, an Adam Vinatieri field goal.
Mike, you talk about not much action in the opponent's territory between these two teams. Only 3 of 50 snaps were inside the 40-yard line of the other team. Think about that field position.
And both coaches are very good at playing close to the vest in a game like that. And burst up the middle this time by Antoine Smith.
Boy, that time Darren Woodson comes right up the middle and doesn't get the play that they're looking for. Normally when they blitz, the Cowboys will blitz for 2 reasons. One, to put pressure on the quarterback, the other to stop the run. That time Antoine Smith did a really nice job of avoiding the contact.
Givens is the single wideout to the top of your screen. Smith will carry. And again, breaking tackles and dragging people out to the 38-yard line.
And what New England's doing now is Brady's been throwing the ball pretty well, but they're able to run the ball. On first down, they're picking up between 4 and 6 yards. On this play here, they picked up 4. They keep themselves moving the chains, and that's all they really need to do.
Not only that, but they're keeping the Dallas Cowboy defense on the field. That last drive by the Cowboy offense was 7.5 minutes. They're not big, so they're small. You want to wear them down a little bit. That's what New England's trying to do.
2nd and 6. Brady wants to go play action this time under pressure. Step to his right and dropped. David Graham was open. The perfect throw by Brady, and Graham couldn't hold it.
You can't throw the ball any better than Brady just did. Well, and he hits Graham right in the hands.
When you don't have Troy Brown available, you have to get more production out of your tight ends. Christian Fourier is one. Daniel Graham is the other. Their #1 pick from a year ago. He's got it, and he's just fighting it. He's got 27 catches. That would have been his 28.
And that play really hurts because they set it up so well running the ball and only one wide receiver. Then they get the tight end out.
Well, you're against the #1 defense in football, so every drop is magnified.
Dallas, they've got 10 guys up on the line of scrimmage.
And here come most of them. Brady unloads. And caught down at the 30. David Gibbons, 10 to the 5.
There's a flag on the play, and it's against Dallas.
It's probably going to be roughing the quarterback.
It is, and that'll be tacked on to the end of the play.
I don't know how many guys they blitz. It looked like 15, but they didn't get there in time.
Only 9.
They had 10 on the line of scrimmage, but I'll tell you what, they sent downfield, and Givens is there. Terrence Newman is the rookie. Look at this. He got man-to-man coverage downfield because of the blitz. David Givens does a great job of coming back to the ball. Take a look at this.
David Givens does a terrific job of finding the ball. But Tom Brady just throws it up in the air for him to get it. The guy that made this all happen was Joe Andruzzi, the right guard, number 63. He blocks on Will Blades, 99. Then he picks up the blitzing secondary guy and allows Tom Brady to slide a little bit left to make the play.
And now check out the lead blocker for Antoine Smith. It's Dan Klecko, the rookie defensive lineman. Smith off the right side. Touchdown.
You know, when you said Dan Klecko in the backfield, I mean, you talk about getting off on the snap. He looked like a back. You know, most big guys in defense. What's number 90? Look how fast he gets into the hole. Antoine Smith's no dummy. I just follow him right on in.
Klecko has played, in addition to fullback, defensive end, nose tackle, and linebacker this year. And Antoine Smith gets the first touchdown of the game. Both scores set up by big pass plays from Tom Brady. And that's what he's done all year long. Vinatieri for the point after it. It's blocked. The first missed extra point of the year for Adam Vinatieri, and that means it's 9-0.
Boy, you take a look at if this is on Vinatieri, the ball has to come out. Here, the hole is there. The ball is set down perfectly. He hits the ground before, but look at the guys up in the air. Number 76, is that Flozell Adams?
It is.
Yeah, when you hit a guy in the armpit, it's not high.
That's not high.
But Tom Brady, we said he'd have opportunities for big plays. He had one to Deion Branch. Now look at the guy in the middle. Right there, you're going to see David Givens just take off and run right up the field. They do a terrific job of blocking. All he does is run. Tom Brady does an excellent job of just hanging the ball up. Let him go make a play on it, and then let Terrence Newman try and bring him down and catch him. That's a quarterback saying, I'm going to throw it up. There isn't anybody in the field but my receiver and a defensive back, Givens and Newman.
You know what that
go
is?
Get it.
It's one of those deals where and you also figure that two things can happen. Your guy can catch the ball or pass interference.
Or it's going to be incomplete. He's going to fight it and keep it away from the other guy. So really nothing bad happens if you get it out of your hands.
Brady has hit a 57-yarder and a 46-yarder tonight.
I mean, as a quarterback, you can't wait to see a team blitz. I mean, if you have the confidence that he has.
Ross on the run on the short kickoff. Up to the 36. Let's check in with Susie.
Well, Michael Irvin played for the Cowboys for 12 years. You've seen Jerry Jones interact with a lot of head coaches. What's the difference these days at Valley Ranch?
Well, you know, the greatest thing when you hear Jerry talk about the possibility of the Cowboys going to the playoffs. As a matter of fact, you don't hear him talking about it. Bill Parcells, he has all that under control, and Jerry has given him total reign, and that's a great thing.
What are your impressions of Quincy Carter against a pretty complex defense?
Well, you know what? I think Quincy's doing a good job. I just talked to Antonio O'Brien, and I told him to tell Quincy on the deep balls to just put a little bit of air under the ball, just like Tom Brady just did, just to give him enough time to find the ball and hopefully the cornerback to lose the ball.
Thanks, Michael.
Carter under pressure, ducks outside of McGinnis and throws underneath to Anderson. Richie out of bounds at the 40.
The same thing we've seen out of Quincy Carter all night is just good pocket presence. He feels the pressure, he slides around and makes the throw. Watch this, here comes the pressure, steps up, doesn't like what he sees. Again, Willie McGinnis just playing terrific. Now he gets it outside to Richie Anderson. And I don't agree with Michael Irvin. That's coming from a wide receiver.
Right.
Michael says, just throw it up to me somewhere in the area. I'll go get it. I think the deep balls that Quincy has thrown have been right where they're supposed to be. Tyrone Poole's done a great job of defending.
Anderson with a carry. Flag is down as he dives to the 45-yard line.
Well, there's another guy we had on the show Joe disagreed with.
Sorry. But he's a receiver.
Hey, let's get some more guests down there.
Michael's always going to say, throw it, I'll go get it. I mean, as a quarterback, you can't count on that all the time.
And this one will come back. The 2-minute warning officially comes at 1:57. And wouldn't you guys agree that there is no comparison between Quincy Carter this year and Quincy Carter last year?
Number 73, offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. Remains. Second down. Timeout. 2-minute warning.
All right, we'll get the answer to that question when we come back. 1:57 to go in the half.
There's a place where the air is fresh, the wind is cool, and the curves are exciting, where all convertibles are turbocharged, and the sun has a very hard time keeping up. The all-new Saab 9.3 convertible. This is the state of independence. And here, convertibles deliver more than just a great view. Welcome. Visit your Saab dealer today.
Unsurpassed engineering, unparalleled technology. It blows away the competition. Champion, Mach 3 Turbo Champion. It's the world's best shave. Gillette guarantees it. Now with a red-hot new look, nothing else even comes close. Test drive one today. Mach 3 Turbo Champion from Gillette. The best a man can get.
It's really good. Martin Gramatica of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers helps United Way by volunteering in his community, teaching valuable skills to kids.
Bill Parcells brings his Dallas Cowboys into New England tonight, a place where he used to be the head coach. Bill Belichick, who used to be his longtime defensive coordinator, now the head coach here in New England. Advantage Belichick so far. A touchdown and a field goal, the missed extra point. We are 9-0. Dallas after the penalty, 2nd and 15. Three-man rush against Carter. So he goes underneath to Hambrick, who wisely gets out of bounds at the 34.
And that's what they're going to let Quincy Carter do. They're going to let him throw the ball out. They rush 3, drop 8. As I said before, when you've got a young quarterback or one that you don't think is that good, you don't put pressure on him and blitz him because you don't want him to make that one big play against you.
But when Quincy reads 3-man rush with that big offensive line he has, he's got to know in his mind that he's got more time than he really thinks.
There you are talking like a quarterback again. It doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah, it does.
3rd and 13. And Carter just unloads. Bryant overthrown.
Now see all the time he had to throw the ball. He knew he had more time. Right. It was a 3-man rush.
See where it wound up?
Well, you know, he's got all day to throw this thing, and all he has to do is find the open guy. Now that's a lot harder than it
Oh, thank
seems.
you, Paul.
That's the part that's hard. But he's got to know in his mind. Look at the line of scrimmage. He's got all kinds of time to throw the ball. Just sit there. Just wait.
And he tries to heave it. Antonio Bryant tries to take off and go after it, but no play there. That's just a very complex defense he's going into.
If you're a Patriots fan, you'll like this. They've won each of their last 15 games when they've led it to half, and Dallas has lost its last 20 road games when they trail at the half. And Kevin Falk with a good return up past the 45, a return of 20. Let's go back to the studio.
I'm Chris Berman. Coming up at halftime, the run of the Kansas City Chiefs. What a great run it was at 9-0, but they were felled by the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll have our fastest 3 minutes and a trip around the league. Everybody will be playing our halftime heroes and bonus coverage from north of the border. Grey Cup highlights the CFL championship game. Back to Foxborough.
All right, Boomer, thanks very much. 1:31 to go in this one. New England would like to tack some more points onto their 9-0 lead with 1:31 on the clock and 2 timeouts at their disposal. Brady got it.
Greg Ellis.
And Greg Ellis is the one guy from the outside who can give them the big pass rush. That's his 4th sack of the year.
Right around Tom Ashworth. Tom Ashworth is on the outside. He's number 68. And Ray Ellis just beats him right to the quarterback. They didn't even slow him down.
Patriots with a big advantage throwing the football. Of course, the Cowboys have put themselves in a lot of long yardage situations.
They want the screen to Falk and overthrown.
That sack was very big because going in at halftime down 9 versus 16, obviously there's a point differential, but when you're the Dallas Cowboys on offense, you just don't think you can score 16 points, to be honest with you. Arias just goes hard around the outside on Ashmore, like you say, Paulo, and I mean, Tom Brady has no chance to even get rid of the football to avoid the sack.
And Dallas, you know, they still have 2 timeouts, so they can take a timeout here, get the ball back, and still have some time to maybe do something.
3rd and 16 for New England.
Oh, no, now you're offside.
Looked like Obagu jumped offside. Free play for Brady. Can't do anything with it, and the ball comes out after he's down.
Well, you know,
That
you don't
should
have a
get
whole
them
lot
5
of
back.
Yeah, you don't have a whole lot of time, but you would have been able to get the ball back, and Obagu just goes offside.
3rd down and 10, you have a lot more plays to choose from on the play sheet that Charlie Wise has, as opposed to 3rd and 15.
Defense, number 92. The 5-yard penalty remains 3rd down.
Well, Tom White said number 92, but it was number 90 Obagu.
Where do they get these numbers? They don't even have a 92.
I don't either.
Talking to Bill Belichick on Friday, he said something that jumped out. He said, don't let the Dallas Cowboys play the game the way they want to. I want them to play the game the way we want to. Right now, he's forcing them into long yardage situations. He's hitting the big plays. Right now, the Pats are dictating.
Falk to about the 43.
Dallas is taking a timeout. They want him to punt.
Really?
And they'll stop the clock with 42 seconds to go.
Good,
so Dallas will have a chance to get the ball back. 9-0. Belichick and Parcells together for a long time. 3 different teams, head coach and assistant. 81-90 with the Giants, 2 Super Bowl wins. 96 with the Patriots, AFC champions. 97-99 with the Jets. They won a 98 division title. And when Bill Parcells went to the front office of the New York Jets, he handpicked Bill Belichick as his successor. That lasted 1 day. And Belichick then took the job at New England.
I know. You notice when you talk to Belichick, to Parcells, who's Joe is deathly afraid of. But anyway,
scared.
Scared. But when you talk to him and you give him a compliment, he says, "I don't necessarily think that's so." You know, he never really builds these guys. He does. Deflects everything.
Zuriel Smith deep to receive. Signals fair catch. Backs away at the last moment. That was very close to getting in the way of that football. Clock stops with 30 seconds to go in the half. Let's go to Susie.
Well, Mike, both head coaches could be considered coach of the year, but it's interesting to note the history that has made Bill Belichick as successful as he is. 29 years as an NFL coach. He said in his first 5 years, he worked with 5 different head coaches, 4 different coordinators, about 50 different assistants. It was like having 4 graduate courses in football. He lived it day and night. But what was interesting was the question posed to him was, who influenced you throughout all those years? He never did mention Bill Parcells, and we know how many years they spent together.
Which pretty much sums up the press coverage of these two leading up to this game. They said some reverential things about each other. That was about it. Vrabel almost had the sack, and Carter takes off and slides in at the 28-yard line.
I have been so impressed by Quincy Carter. Mike, you made the point earlier. This young man doesn't even resemble the Quincy Carter we saw play a year ago with the Dallas Cowboys. He's so much more mature, so much more poised.
He is tremendously aware of his surroundings. This one's out in the flat to Anderson. He'll get out of bounds and have a first down up at the 33-yard line.
And he was really kind of offended yesterday. There's kind of a hint that he doesn't see down the field. He says, there are some things I still don't see, but people are not giving me credit for what I've learned. And you know, when Richie Anderson was talking about him going in early, studying, his whole life is now dedicated to playing quarterback, and Parcells is the guy that did that.
The other thing is that he also mentioned, Paul, along those lines, is everybody thinks that they cut the offense back because he can't handle it. This offense is not cut back. This is just like everybody else runs in the league.
Well, he says there's some quarterbacks in this league that do only have to read half of the field to make it easier for them, but I'm not one of them. I read the whole thing, and you can believe him the way we have seen him play, as particularly tonight. And this was a guy who lost his job last year to Chad Hutchinson.
Well, Maurice Carthon really kind of helped him to Quincy Carter, because Bill Parcells has a tendency to look at a guy and give you the nasty look and yell at you and say some things. And what Maurice Carthon said to Quincy Carter was, just get the message. Don't look at the way he delivers it. Just get what's in the message, because there is something he's trying to say.
And standing his right was Sean Payton, who joined him after a stint with the Giants. You see his coordinator. Sean basically handles the passing aspect of it, and Maurice Carthon, the offensive coordinator with the title, and was really the first hire for Bill Parcells, handles the running aspect of their offense.
Here's a very interesting defense.
Patriots had 3 guys near the line of scrimmage. The rest of them are spread out between the 30 and the goal line.
This is where you throw in that big old lateral play.
This looks like a kickoff return. Guys closer to the line of scrimmage on kickoff.
Now there are guys wide open, only 10 yards down the field, and here's one of them on a little screen. Got to go all the way to the end zone with Richie Anderson to make this one work. He's down to the 30.
There's a flag on the play, and there's more than one flag, and it cannot end on a defensive penalty. The half I'm talking about.
If this should be against New England, what a huge break it would be for the Cowboys.
No, it's against Dallas.
Holding, number 89, offense. Penalty is declined. That's the end of the first half.
Hey, you see all these guys back here? Everybody's all back all over the place. They're waiting. It looks like a kickoff return.
Our score here at halftime at Gillette Stadium. The Patriots 9, the Cowboys nothing. Let's join Chris Berman for the Toyota halftime show.
Well, thank you very much, Mike. Not that surprised that neither of the Bills is stopping on their way to the locker room to talk. So the score 9-0 at halftime. And speaking of 9-0, the Kansas City Chiefs had become only the 10th team since the merger to begin 9-0. Would they get to 10-0? And seeing Parcells and Belichick together in this game reminds you that the 1990 New York Giants head coach Bill Parcells, defensive coordinator Bill Belichick, were one of those teams to make it to 10-0. Could Kansas City do it? They're at Cincinnati, and that's where we begin our fastest 3. Peter Warren, not Dante Hall of the Chiefs, was the return specialist extraordinaire in this game. This punt return breaks open a 10-6 game. The Bengals led 17-6. Trent Green to Tony Gonzalez brings the Chiefs back within 5. But surprising everyone was a bomb on the first play from John Kitna to Warren. Dick Vermeil even said, you know what, I would have done the same thing, and the Bengals had the Chiefs run 24-19. The 72 undefeated Dolphins remain. Here's Don Shula, Bob Greasy with the spec, Nick Bonacani down on the bottom. They were in Miami watching the Ravens and the Dolphins. Jamal Lewis overtime fumble. Polindo Mari field goal good. Dolphins win 9-6 there. 6-4, so good day for all those 72 Dolphins all the way around. Steve McNair, Justin McCairns with a great grab for Tennessee, which led Jacksonville 10-0. But Jacksonville stopped the Titans from scoring after that, made them sweat, but left was incomplete, and the Titans win 10-3. They're 8-2. In a game in which Peyton Manning threw for 400 yards, this fake field goal and run-in by holder Hunter Smith gave the Colts a 38-31 win over the Jets. Stephen Davis against his old team, the Redskins, powered him with just over a minute to go. The Panthers beat the Skins 20-17. Najee Davenport helped the Green Bay Packers squeeze 190 yards rushing against the Tampa Bay Bucs. 98-yard drive, Mon Green a 1-yard touchdown. Brad Johnson picked off at the end. Bucs folded 4-6 as they lose to the Pack 20-13. Chris Chandler to Des White for the Bears, leading the Rams 21-20, but Jeff Wilkins kicks the game-winning field goal, 23-21. St. Louis goes to 7-3. So did the Seattle Seahawks. Bobby Ankrum caught a touchdown, could go all the way. 83-yard punt return. Detroit's lost 21 straight on the road, 35-14 Seattle. Dante Culpepper, Minnesota, picked off by the Raiders. Phillip Buchanan. The Vikes, after a 6-0 start, have dropped 4 straight, 28-18. Their age. Doug Flutie led the Chargers to 42 points last week. On this day, Flutie and the Chargers blown out at Denver. Jake Plummer to Shannon Sharp twice. The Broncos beat the Chargers handily 37-8. Donovan McNabb, hero Monday night to Brian Westbrook for 2 touchdown passes. Westbrook also ran for 1. Eagles beat the Giants 28-10. Deuce McAllister, overtime. Figures the Saints are going to win on this run, but it's a fumble, and Atlanta takes over. But later, it was John Carney. Good. Saints win in overtime, 23-20 over Atlanta after trailing by 17. Kelly Holcomb throwing for almost 400 yards. This to Quincy Morgan. Browns humble Arizona 34-6. And backup quarterback Tony Banks to Andre Johnson. No one circles Andre Johnson like the Buffalo Bills. Problem at the touchdown. Texans win 12-10 in Buffalo.
This halftime show is presented by Toyota. Get the feeling.
When we return, our halftime heroes, 20 of them in Cincinnati. The Bengals are 5-5, and speaking of 5, what a 7-day span for Donovan McNabb and the Eagles.
With so many standard features, my car makes me feel like I'm a step ahead of the game.
The Camry LE, starting at $19,560.
The National Football League family is committed to supporting the courageous men and women serving in the U.S. Armed Forces in the Mideast. But the fight for freedom is not without loss. And the NFL urges you to join us and the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund in supporting the military families of those heroes who have sacrificed their lives in the service of our country. Please visit nfl.com/heroesfund and help support those families in need.
Welcome back to the Toyota Halftime Show with your host, Chris Berman.
9-0 Patriots over the Cowboys at the half. Well, the fuel was set by the Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver. He talks a little bit. Chad Johnson after last week's Bengals win.
We will win. That's a guarantee. Is that how I'm supposed to say it?
On Monday.
Yeah.
Kansas City.
Yeah. We will beat the Chiefs, so.
Pretty bold statement. Name it 69, Chad Johnson 2003. Bengal fans were ready, and there were plenty of my halftime heroes in Cincinnati. Johnson caught 7 for 74. But the big hero we showed you, Peter Warren. This #1 pick from a few years back is really coming into his own. The punt return for a touchdown, and then came the call of the day. Marvin Lewis saw the Chiefs creep to within 5, and then instead of running the clock, he had John Kitna throw the bomb to Warren, 77 yards. And as we mentioned before, Dick Vermeil on the Chiefs sideline had that look to say, they got us. John Kitna pumped. The Bengals are 5-5. They haven't been at 500 this late since 1990. Donovan McNabb was great Monday night. Donovan McNabb to Brian Westbrook was great against the Giants. The Eagles finally have a laugher. They have won 5 in a row. Here's another swing to Westbrook. McNabb throwing for 314 yards, hit 9 different receivers as the Eagles beat the Giants 28-10. Other heroes of the day include, what went on between Chad Clifton and Warren Sapp last year. Clifton hurt, missed the rest of the season, but the Green Bay Packers, Clifton at tackle, allowed no sacks against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their win at Tampa today. First time the Bucs did not get a sack since early in the '99 season. Coincidence? I think not. And my other heroes, the 72 Dolphins, because they can pop the champagne cork, zonk, kick, all the boys. They're still the only undefeated and untied team pro football as the Chiefs fell today. How are the heroes up north? Grey Cup. No, that's not the Packers. It's the Edmonton Eskimos wearing Packer-like jerseys against Montreal in the CFL Finals. Thus far, and of course, everybody knew the Dallas Cowboys would be good, but they didn't know this good at 7-2 as Bill Parcells has returned. He's our Sunday night conversation. You can see it on SportsCenter following the game, but in that, Susie Colbert asked him about his return to the sidelines.
What's the price you pay personally for being a coach?
Oh, hey, this is a killer game. I mean, for me, my personality type, it's a killer game. It wears you down, it beats you down. That's probably why I can't do it for extended periods of time anymore at my age. Got to get away once in a while, and but that's just with me. I'm not saying that's with everyone, or it should be. It's just my own personality. Someone used a word recently, or some words recently that explained it a lot better than I could. They told me that I didn't have a mental defense for it, and I think that's right.
Our Sunday stud, the NFL Coach of the Year to date. You can still vote until the fourth quarter. Parcells leading the voting. Marvin Lewis of the Bengals with a rush. You see Belichick on the list. Lots of worthy candidates for our Sunday stud. Who are the studs of the CFL? Oh, it's big goings-on at Taylor Field in Regina, Saskatchewan. The Edmonton Eskimos trying to beat the Montreal Alouettes, the defending Grey Cup champions. The Player of the Year was quarterback Anthony Calvillo. He can dribble the ball as well. To Philippe Girard, il peut mettre la distance. The touchdown, we're 14 all. However, Edmonton's Ricky Ray hit Jason Tucker twice. Tucker, the MVP of this year's Grey Cup. And in the end, the Mounties brought out the cup. And Edmonton wins it 34-32. The Eskimos over Les Alouettes. Dudley Do-Right and everybody on hand in Saskatchewan. Connecticut Huskies, ranked number 1, starting the preseason NIT against in-state rival Yale. You can see that on ESPN2 Monday at 7 o'clock. Antoine Smith has the game's only touchdown. The Patriots made the Cowboys 9-0 second half in a moment.
Kick off your Sunday with ESPN Sunday NFL Countdown.
That's what I'm talking about.
Inside the playbook, behind the scenes.
I don't want to talk about that on camera.
On the pulse of the NFL.
A Bucs official says it's gotten personal between the league and Warren Sapp.
Conference to conference, coast to coast. League-leading coverage from Boomer, TJ, Mort, Michael, and Steve.
Look at those colors.
I don't know whether to talk to him or date him.
Sunday NFL Countdown, presented by Old Spice. Every Sunday at 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Women love perfectly groomed men, but grooming certain areas can be a problem. Now there's Microtouch for safe, precise grooming that gets as close as a blade, yet is safe to the touch. Now you can keep the back of your neck barbershop perfect by yourself. Remove unsightly ear hair and embarrassing nose hair with just a touch. Sideburns and beards, neat and clean. Got bushy eyebrows? Snap on the guide and perfectly groom them in seconds. Look at the difference. What a great way for women to keep the man in their life perfectly groomed. Microtouch grooms from head to toe and anywhere in between. A $40 value, yours for only $14.99. Plus, you get our 10-piece precision grooming kit. A $40 value, yours free. Order now and get both the Microtouch Precision Groomer and the 10-piece grooming kit, an $80 value for only $14.99.
Call 1-800-357-6363. That's 1-800-357-6363. So call 1-800-357-6363.
Boy, I hope Roger found enough firewood. Yeah, I want to make s'mores. Hey guys, I gathered the wood and made a fire. Oh, yeah, and I built this shelter.
Even as a kid, I believed in giving people a little more than they expected. I'm Roger Riney. I started Scottrade to take care of online investors like nobody else. With $7 trades, no inactivity fees, and personal attention at your local office. Click, call, or stop by Scottrade today.
Bill Parcells brought his first place 7-2 Dallas Cowboys to play Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots here at Gillette Stadium. And it's been a close game. Quincy Carter has done all he can from a quarterback standpoint, but Tom Brady has come up with bigger plays. And the only touchdown of the game, one touchdown, a field goal, a missed extra point. We are at 9-0. The Patriots over the Cowboys as we get ready to start the third quarter.
It's like 4th of July here. We've seen some fireworks in this game. A couple of big plays out of New England. The Cowboys need to find some.
Short kick taken back to the 34-yard line. All right, Dallas, we have emphasized, as a team that does not play from behind very well. They're not built that way. They're played to run, get ahead, and win that way. Well, right now they're behind 9-0. What do you do if you're the Dallas Cowboys?
I think you should play the defenses you've been playing, and I like the way they came out. They ran the football. They're doing very well. All they got to do is stay out of 2nd and 3rd and long.
Well, 6 of the 9 third downs they've had have been for 9 yards or more. That's not what this offense is built for. I believe it's got plays in it. I think it can make some big plays, but I don't think it can keep overcoming long yardage 3rd down.
Tom Brady and the Patriots will start from the 35-yard line. Falk is in there at running back, and he is slammed to the ground by Leroy Glover. Holy cow. There have only been 2 big plays in this ballgame, both engineered by Tom Brady. This one to Deion Branch, who was wide open over the middle, turned it into a 46-yard gain. That set up the field goal. And then Gibbons on the jump ball downfield. That set up the only touchdown of the ballgame.
And the thing that was impressive to me, but from a New England standpoint, is the plays. But Terrence Newman, the corner, makes tackles on those things and can just flat run.
This is a terrific secondary. Blitz coming. Brady throwing under pressure. And incomplete. They said it hit the ground under Graham at the 45-yard line.
Of the 16 passes Tom Brady has thrown, you can see how he has spread the ball around. You see the 2 big plays down the field, out to the left, out to the right, up the middle. It's very difficult for a defense to get in at halftime and say, all right, we have to take away this part of the field. He has spread it around very well, reading the defense, capitalizing on the opportunities when the Cowboys decide they want to blitz. I believe they're up here to try and blitz, but they're not going to. They've already been cooked a couple times. Get them out of it.
They stacked the line of scrimmage and then backed off on 3rd and long. Brady goes underneath and almost intercepted. That would have been an easy touchdown right in the hands of Tony Dixon, and he couldn't hold it.
He was trying to hit Kevin Falk, and he threw that. I mean, he really rifled that ball. I don't think if Falk would have gotten his hands up, he would never be able to catch it anyway.
Well, Dixon couldn't.
You can't stop. If you're a running back or a wide receiver, you can't start somewhere and stop and have the quarterback think you're going to keep going.
Walter will have to punt to Zuriel Smith. This low line drive returnable kick. Smith from the 24. And just brought down around the ankles as he got to the 33, a 41-yard kick, an 8-yard return, and Larry Izzo, who's been a special team star for 2 franchises, made the stop.
These everyday low fares to your favorite vacation destinations start at just $49.
You are now free to move about the country.
You ever go horseback riding? Are you kidding? Those things are huge. What about motorcycles? No way. You ever hang glide? No, I'm scared of flying. Surfing? Way too dangerous. Right.
No matter what you love to do, bring your Visa card. The card you know they'll take wherever your adventures take you. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Drive a sports car like no other. The all-new Mazda RX-8.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. And Mazda, there's a soul of a sports car in everything we make.
The historic town of Foxborough, Massachusetts.
Now, Bill Parcells told us yesterday that Bill Belichick will take away their biggest weapon first. Well, Terry Glenn has not caught a pass, and that's their biggest weapon.
Dallas starts at its own 32. Hambrick to the 36.
You know, it just seems like don't make a mistake. Whatever you do, don't make a mistake.
That's exactly what it is. Remember the first thing Bill Parcells said, you can't beat yourself. That's the only, if you beat yourself first, you never have a chance to win. So the first thing we will do is not beat ourselves, and then we'll find a way to win.
And in the two losses the Patriots have had this year, to Buffalo in the opener and Washington a little later on the year, that's exactly what they did, just gave it away.
Brady had 7 interceptions in those 2 games.
Carter play action. McGinnis can't get it. And Quincy Carter throws a strike to Bryant right through his hand. Let's go to Susie.
Well, this game is so much about relationships. Patriots owner Robert Kraft is good friends with Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. When you've both had the same head coach, what kind of stories do you share over dinner last night?
Well, we talked about we have very close families. He thanked me for putting his coach through the learning curve and helping him to get where he is, and I accepted his thanks very graciously. But Jerry helped us a lot when we came into the league, and has been a great friend and a great partner in the NFL.
Does the winner of this one buy the next dinner?
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. Our families have had many dinners together. And this is what it's about, prime time, Sunday night, winning championships, having a new stadium, and we want to thank our fans for their 99th straight sellout. They've been great to us, and we learned a lot from the Jones family.
You guys are both so TV savvy. Can you have fun with all of the storylines going into this game, particularly about the coaches?
That's what it's about, and the passionate on a Sunday night when these people have to go to work and all the fans viewing here throughout the country, we're going to get you double-digit ratings, and that's what you want. It's great, and both coaches are great for this game.
You know TV, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Dallas 4th and inches. They will punt it away. Kevin Falk signals fair catch and makes it at the 25, a 33-yard punt and no return. New England leads by 9.
Access NFL.com to vote for your favorite NFL All-Stars. The Pro Bowl ballot is online exclusively at NFL.com.
You've been injured in an accident.
Commercial.
So, what's for dinner?
Remember that cute little pink blouse that I was telling you about the other day? You know, with the thing. Turkey pot pie.
Fast forward your wife and skip recorded commercials. Wow. Now you can get a Dish Player digital video recorder with up to 100 hours of tapeless recording for only $99 with free standard professional installation. Call now to take advantage of this special offer. Ask how it can be free.
Would you like to own your own business and enjoy financial independence? Nationwide Cyber Systems introduces the most exciting business opportunity of the 21st century, the Wi-Fi Public Internet Terminal. This amazing machine offers high-speed internet access, email, and video email for only 25 cents per minute, payable by cash or credit card. The machine is also a wireless access point, where up to 100 users at the same time can receive high-speed wireless internet service for only $3.95 an hour or $7.95 a day. Nationwide can start you in a turnkey business and help you secure the most profitable locations in your area before someone else gets them. You can start part-time and expand according to your own timetable. Call now for your free video and information package. There is unlimited income potential. Don't delay. The best locations won't last long.
In a battle of field position, the Patriots lead it 9-0 third quarter. They take over at their own 26-yard line.
And in a battle of time of possession in the first half, the Cowboys had the ball 18 minutes, 30 seconds. New England 11:30. That is not what the New England Patriots want to do. They want to keep that Dallas defense out on the field a lot more than they did in the first half and try and tire them up. Tire them down.
But it doesn't make any difference if you're not scoring. I mean, time of possession doesn't mean a thing. That number 9 up there, the 0, that means something.
Well, thank you, Professor.
I'm just trying to help you out with time of possession.
You come up with some gems.
Everybody makes a big deal out of time of possession. If you don't do anything with it, what good is it?
No, it's true. For example, last week we had when we did the St. Louis Rams. Interesting team. You got St. Louis and Baltimore. Which one would you think would have more time of possession? You think the Ravens would? They didn't. It was like 35 minutes for St. Louis. That's exactly what Bill Parcells wants. He wants to see his team maintain this and then get something out of it.
You saw the numbers moments ago on Tom Brady. 7 out of 18 in this game. Dallas allowing a league low 49% for opposing quarterbacks. Their pass defense has been sensational.
The run defense isn't bad either.
No, it isn't.
Giving up 85 yards rushing.
Number 1 overall in the NFL. Antoine Smith pounds his way across the 30-yard line.
There's Darren Woodson in on the play. Now, there's a guy, boy, talking to him, this is a guy who has newfound life. He's so sick and tired of losing. 3 5-11 seasons. 2 before that weren't good. And when he found out that Bill Parcells might be his coach, he said he was ecstatic to know that someone of that caliber would be coming and hopefully coaching the Cowboys.
And he's pretty happy about the other guys they put in the secondary, too. Stumbling as he took the handoff, Antoine Smith. He'll lose a couple.
Darren Woodson spoke at length about the way the attitude has changed at Valley Ranch. Guys used to play dominoes. They used to have cell phones. He said now at lunchtime, when you walk through it around lunch, there's hardly anybody there. It's like a ghost town was the word he used, because all the players are in looking at film and studying film. And that's really all Bill Parcells asks. He says, I want you to be diligent, I want you to be tough, and I want you to make mistakes.
And usually Bill Parcells finds a guy to yell at. Darren Woodson said, it was me. He said he told me he was going to do it, and he's done it. And Brady just gunned one off of Daniel Graham. It's like he didn't get hurt by that.
Actually,
that ball hit Ebenezer Ecubon.
It did. It was tipped.
Just to the left here, take a look at Ebenezer Ecubon. He hits hits Graham in the head.
It's a header. It's no good. It's like a soccer game. It was a header.
I'll tell you, Brady throws hard short.
Now New England will have to punt. Juriel Smith waiting back at his 30. And down at the 30. A loss of 1 and a solid tackle by Chris Akins, who got there just about the same time the ball did. Timeout. New England continues to throw a shutout at the Cowboys.
At Miller, we brew great tasting beer because you can get in line and take what they give you, or you can make your own choice. Miller, good call.
Introducing the all-new rotary-powered Mazda RX-8.
Jack?
The way you feel about sports cars will never be the same.
Start your day with something new. I wake up to cold pizza. It's guys in the know, girls with the down low. A little mayhem in the AM.
You don't get this at any other morning show.
Wake up to cold pizza, the morning show with everything. Weekday mornings at 7 on ESPN 2.
Cowboys will take over at their own 30, trailing 9-0. In 7 possessions in this game, they've had 6 punts. The other possession ran out with a half. Play action by Carter. And incomplete to Bryant.
That one bounced off his face. I mean, Antonio Bryant has had 2 balls go through his hands. The last series had one slip through. Now this one again bounces right off his chest. This is an excellent throw by Quincy Carter, right into the soft belly. Actually, it goes right off his arm. Well, remember, he's playing for Joey Galloway, who's out with a strained quad. So Antonio Bryant is the...
Does that mean he's not supposed to catch it?
It means he's not a starter, I can tell you that.
Yeah, he's a better player than that. He won the Bolitnikoff Award at Pitt as the best college receiver in the country. Hambrick on the toss. Flag is down as he gets back to the 34. Let's go to Susan.
Well, Mike, one of the stories we followed throughout the game, one of Bill Belichick's ways of stopping the opponent is shut down their star. And for the Cowboys, it's Terry Glenn. So what the Patriots done basically is played a zone defense against them. Guys passing him off, Law, McGinnis, Wilson, Harrison. Everyone's teaming up to shut down Terry Glenn. They allow him to just run inside, but he can't do much more than that. No deep balls for Terry Glenn.
And Susie, if there's anybody out on that field that wants to succeed tonight, it is Terry Glenn. He made such a big deal out of coming back here to New England, says he hates everything about it. He did not leave, of course, on the best of terms.
Doesn't have a Super Bowl ring because he wasn't on the team.
He doesn't have a catch either. Now, here go the Dallas Cowboys again. The one thing we talked about, Joseph, is here's another penalty. 15 yards, tripping penalty, or 10 yards, tripping penalty. I mean, they do everything to go the wrong way.
2nd and 20. Carter trying to get the screen to Hambrick, and it's incomplete. It looked like Vrabel and Teddy Bruschi were right in the middle of that screen. Excellent diagnosis on their part.
Well, he really has no place to go with this. He's trying to hit Hambrick, number 42, in the middle. He's looking downfield first. Look at Bruschi, 54. He's there. He almost makes the play. There's really no place to throw the ball.
You sense right now that Quincy Carter is getting a little bit more uncomfortable in the pocket. He's starting to make throws that this is not what Bill Parcells wants to see from his quarterback. Just throw it away. He can't be the reason this thing comes apart if it does.
And remember, Bill Belichick had 2 weeks to work on his defense for this game. 3rd and a mile for Carter. Flushed out of the pocket, steps out of bounds at the 26. He'll have to punt again.
Well, they had a 3-man rush, and then they sent Willie McGinnis, number 55, up the middle to make it a 4-man rush. And they didn't block it very well, the Dallas Cowboys. But they keep putting themselves in a bad spot.
Well, we've talked about the fact that this offense isn't built to overcome big yards. There's no offense in the National Football League that's built to overcome 2nd and 20, 1st and 25, 3rd down and 14.
4th down and 14.
I think what you're seeing here, too, is the difference in the maturity levels of the football team. The Cowboys are a young team in certain aspects. The Pats are tested and true.
Going to punt the fall. Signals fair catch and makes it at the 32, a 41-yard kick and no return. It's been a defensive battle throughout. 9-0 Patriots.
Tuesday, November 18th, a day that will live in comedy. Can Jim use paintball to get out of couples activities forever? Or will Cheryl kick him in the mud hole?
The last time I take you any place!
And only according to Jim, 9/8 Central, ABC Tuesday.
Follow the nation's top college basketball teams on ESPN Full Court. ESPN Full Court will have more than 450 games from the nation's top conferences this season. ESPN Full Court is now available on Dish Network Season Ticket. And if you order the full season package by January 9th, you will have an opportunity to win one of 50 official NCAA basketballs autographed by yours truly. So go ahead, call today, 1-800-333-DISH.
Over 1 million understand its strength. It can improve your energy, your shape. This is Bowflex Power Rod technology, and it can only be found on genuine Bowflex equipment, like the new Bowflex Extreme. Now you can get the results you want, the exercises you need, all at an affordable price. You've never seen this Bowflex before. Call 1-800-789-9500 now and get a free video or DVD and check out the new Bowflex Extreme. You can have a high-performance body. Just look for real Bowflex Power Rod technology, proven effective at burning fat and building muscle. Now you can own the new Extreme for no money down and only $19 a month. The Bowflex Extreme is not available in stores. You know you're ready. Let Bowflex help you get there. Call now for a free video or DVD today, because your results matter.
If you like defense, you like this one. 9-0 New England. A touchdown, a missed extra point. It was blocked, then a field goal. They lead 9-0, take over at their own 33-yard line here in the third quarter.
Cowboys only a play away from getting back in it.
Brady guns another one. This one complete up to the 47-yard line. Another perfect throw, and Bethel Johnson, the rookie out of Texas A&M, makes his first catch of the night.
Brady just shows you if he has time to throw the football, which he has here, he's going to hit his receiver coming across. That's the perfect pass to Bethel Johnson. The coverage on the outside was perfect. Look at Newman. Young Newman is there. That's a guy you really like.
I like Terrence Newman. I think he's just something special.
Brady goes right back to the air, and this one is tipped and nearly intercepted by Dat Wynn, who was such an outstanding
And that was one of the things that was one of the things Bill Parcells talked about. His ability in pass coverage really jumped out at him.
Dat Wynn is a guy that Bill Parcells does not like as a prototypical linebacker. He's small, 5'11", 243 pounds. Bill Parcells likes those 6'4", 6'5", big guys, but Dat Wynn impressed Parcells immediately with his speed, his courage, his hustle, and his striking power. Flag is down, screen to Falk. Across midfield. Falk got a block. Inside the 30, and now we'll check the marker. Gain of 25.
They're calling holding against New England, and this was right at the point of attack, too. The screen has not worked against the Dallas Cowboys. The defensive line were the guys that were there that should have made the play. The reason the play wasn't made because it was held.
See, they not only have speed on that defense, they hustle. It's one thing to be a fast defense. It's another one to get out and hustle like they do. And when you hustle, offensive linemen have to tackle you to stop you.
You have to think about something. New England, they had up until that to Bethel Johnson, that what, 12-yard catch?
It's called a pass play.
Well, a 12-yard catch. They only had 187 yards of total offense, and two pass plays accounted for 103 of it. So this Dallas defense, I mean, they really have done the job.
Now they have the New England offense in that same bind that they've found themselves offensively in all night. Second down and 20.
Brady play action with time goes to Antoine Smith over the middle, and Smith is hit immediately by Dexter Copley, and there's another flag down.
They're going to call Joe Andruzzi possibly for coming in late. He's up there trying to protect Antoine Smith. Could call him for a late hit.
I just get the other day Friday talking to Bill Belichick, and I said, you know, nobody has big numbers on these teams.
There it is.
Nobody has real big numbers on this team. I mean, you don't see them stand out anything except for one thing. They're third in the league as far as penalties are concerned. And when we said that to Belichick, I thought he was going to get sick.
He just rolled his eyes.
I thought he was going to get sick.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 63. It's a 15-yard penalty. This foul occurred after the play was over, so the down counts. Third down.
That's Joe Andruzzi, the right guard. Watch it here. This is a point of emphasis this year. They do not want late blocks and having guys picked off, and that is way too late.
Well, no, he's not even trying. See, he's not even trying to block anybody. He's actually leaning down and sort of slides into somebody. That was a ticky-tack call, in my opinion. That was really bad.
Well, Bill Belichick agrees with it.
He wasn't trying to knock anybody off the pile. That's about as ticky-tack as it gets.
Now it's third and a $50 cab ride.
Ticky-tack. Ticky-tack.
Brady goes underneath.
Now that was not ticky-tack.
No,
and big Roy Williams is right there to hold it to nothing.
Roy Williams, when Parcells was talking about him, he said, I'm going to tell you now, this guy's going to hit you. I mean, he's going to lay the wood to you. Roy Williams is one of those guys, he said, sometimes he gets in trouble and he may get beat. But if you're in his area and you catch the ball, Roy Williams is going to lay you out.
As Bill Parcells says, he has a lot of wood in his knapsack. 4th and 37. And the punt to Zuriel Smith is just awful. Neither one of these punters distinguishing themselves this year. Ken Walter, a 34-yarder. That's with the roll. He came in ranked 32nd among all punters in the league. Of course, Parcells and Bill Belichick have been together much of their coaching career. Together, they won 2 Super Bowls with the New York Giants, lost a Super Bowl with the New England Patriots to the Green Bay Packers. That's when Bill Parcells resigned after failing to come back with the team on the team plane. Parcells was named the head coach of the Jets, took Belichick with him as his assistant. Parcells resigns. Belichick named his successor. That lasted one day. Belichick quits, and then he's named the head coach of the New England Patriots, and they go on to win the Super Bowl. Quincy Carter trying to get something started. Now he runs. Good pump fake by Carter across midfield, out of bounds near the 45-yard line. And Quincy Carter showed you what he can do that time.
I'm going to tell you what, Willie McGinnis, he's had at least 5 shots at Quincy Carter tonight.
Just can't get him.
And he hadn't made one. I mean, the end of this is a reach. Willie McGinnis has chased this guy all over the ballpark. Willie McGinnis, there's number 55. Now watch this. He's back in coverage. He's waiting. He's waiting. Quincy Carter comes out. Watch this. Oops.
I think I really think he underestimates his speed. You know, they
overestimates his.
Well, they drafted Quincy Carter because he reminded Jerry Jones of what Donovan McNabb was able to do, and you see that kind of running ability.
Richie Anderson gets the call from the fullback spot. Gets maybe a yard.
You're talking about how good defenses are. This is only, now we got, what, 6 minutes and 20 seconds and counting in the third quarter. This is only the 6th play that the Dallas Cowboys have had on the other side of the 50-yard line. And that's amazing.
And really, New England had everything going to keep that field possession game going, or field position game going, until they committed the big penalties that backed them up.
Anderson and Adrian Morrell in the backfield. Morrell signed in the middle of the year. He's given them a boost in the running game. Play action to Morrell. Carter rifles that one complete. Terry Glenn with his first catch. He's booed immediately and out of bounds at the 37. If you say, I can't wait to get back there, I hate everything about New England, these folks are not going to welcome you warmly.
Ty Law giving him a lot of room. Little quick rotation. Excellent catch. There's your 3rd and short. Now, these are the type of third downs that the Cowboys are interested in converting because you can run the football from these distances.
They're almost in a 4-down situation, these guys.
No.
You got a field goal kicker that can make this?
Yes.
3rd and 2. Carter flips it to Anderson. He has the first down to the New England 30-yard line.
You know, Richie Anderson did, Joe. As soon as he caught the ball, he went up. He knew where the first down marker was and went right at it.
But I want to show you what Quincy Carter does with this touch pass. This is between Quincy Carter and Willie McGinnis. Once again, Paul, good play action fake. Watch the touch he does. He elevates himself to get the ball over Willie McGinnis, but yet doesn't throw it too hard so that Richie Anderson can't make a play on it. Quincy Carter is putting on quite a clinic of being a very solid, smart, good quarterback tonight.
And Dallas needs points out of this drive. Morrell, little stutter step. down to the 26-yard line. Morrell played for Bill Parcells 1 year with the Jets and 2 straight seasons with the Jets. He had over 1,000 yards. Went to Arizona, had another 1,000-yard season. Another one of those guys that Bill Parcells knows what he is going to get, even though he'd been out of football for 2 years.
I think here on second down, this is a good time for the New England Patriots to blitz. Romeo Crennel, the defensive coordinator, I think you come after this formation. If it's a pass, you can get the quarterback. If it's a run, maybe you stop at the line.
Morrell again. Lowers his shoulder, pushes tacklers down near the 21-yard line.
I just watched Adrian Morrell on that play there. He was hit at the 25-yard line, and he moved the pile.
Morrell grew up in Hawaii, ended up playing college ball at West Virginia. I don't know how
I knew you'd get that in.
Well, I had to. I don't know how you get from Honolulu to Morgantown, though. Yeah, it's a million frequent flyer miles.
You take a nonstop to Dulles and drive.
Take an airplane to Pittsburgh, and then you take a bus.
3rd and 2. Morrell on the toss. Has the first down.
Boy, Richie Anderson gets an outstanding, but you know, all he does is tie up the linebacker, but he comes down and he just throws his body. Look at number 20, Richie Anderson, down. Adrian Morrell picks up the first down. This is what this team has to do. You know what? They have never gotten away from their game plan.
They haven't, and the game has never gotten away from it. Richie Anderson, talking to us last night, also said that the only difference in what he's doing for Bill Parcells now than when he's done for him in the past is he is now playing more on 3rd down. Evidence that with a good block.
This is the deepest penetration of New England territory for Dallas tonight. Carter, McGinnis can't get him again. And the pass is intercepted. Bounced right into the hands of Ty Law. What a gift.
That was the one mistake that Bill Parcells did not want to see from Jason Carter.
Jason Witten couldn't hold it. And Bill Parcells sees an opportunity to go up in smoke.
The praise that Mazda 6 has received for applying sports car engineering to a sedan will appeal to all sorts of people. For the safety conscious, the highest government safety rating. For the consumer-minded, the highest-rated midsize sedan among owners. And 50 international awards for the speed readers. The Mazda 6. Get 0.0% APR financing for 5 years or up to $2,500 cash back on selected 2003 Mazda 6 models.
Hi, Daddy.
Hey, sweetheart. I miss you.
Miss you too.
What did you do there?
I played soccer.
For your most important calls, reach out on the wireless service America trusts. AT&T Wireless.
This holiday season, the amazing world of Dr. Seuss comes to life.
This cat should not be here. He should not be about. He should not be here when your mother is out.
This Friday.
Oh, yeah!
From the producer of The Grinch comes the holiday event you've been waiting for.
It's too much!
Mike Myers.
Humana. Ooh, is this?
The Cat in the Hat.
That's my mom.
Awkward.
Rated PG starts Friday.
ESPN Sunday NFL Countdown. Inside the playbook, behind the scenes, on the pulse of the NFL. League-leading coverage from Boomer, TJ, Mort, Michael, and Steve.
That's what we're here for.
Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
The Cowboys see a scoring chance go away because of the 32nd career interception by Ty Law. Now Brady goes back to work. Deep sideline, Branch was there, but tipped away at the last moment by Darren Woodson.
It hits
Looked
him
like it hit him in the head.
It hit him in the back of the head. Deion Branch was off and running. He got by the Cowboys secondary, and then all of a sudden, watch this. Right, bonk, right in the back of the head. It hits Darren Woodson.
Heads up play, huh?
But look at Deion Branch. This is a smart wide receiver. He comes back and makes contact hoping that possibly he may get the interference call. That shows how complete a receiver he is.
Brady has hit only 4 of his last 13. This is a really good Dallas defense.
Yeah, it is.
New England's isn't bad either. Brady, plenty of time, now throws it incomplete. That was intended for his tight end, Daniel Graham.
The big mistake by Quincy Carter is what gave the Pats the ball back. That's Willie McGinnis. That's Jason Witten. That's the tight end releasing outside. Willie McGinnis says, I don't care what the play action fake is. I'm assigned to Quincy Carter. That time he tries to make a play, and it jumped up and bit him. You see him throwing off balance. It winds up behind Witten, right into Ty Law's lap, and he found himself a gift. And Coach Belichick says, that's the way it's supposed to go. Our ball going the other way.
3rd and 10 for New England. Brady to throw again. Underneath, Falk got a block, dives, and got the first down. What an effort by Kevin Falk.
And just that flash of Christian Fourier, just coming across the defense's front, gives him a chance to make the play. He's going to be coming right at you. Tom Brady steps up. There he is. Now watch the flash. That little move right there on Dat Win just allowed Kevin Falk to be able to pick up the first down. Just a little bit of a chip every now and then makes a difference.
Under 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. And in a game when points are precious, the clock will become very important as we tick it down. Antoine Smith.
Remember, the Dallas defense isn't used to being on the field a lot. Now, they weren't on the first half, which is fine. You get turnovers, and all of a sudden they wind up there. This game's starting to look a little bit like the Tampa game that got away from Quincy a little bit. Now he's got to bounce back.
I'll tell you one thing about this defensive line, though. Man, do they get off the ball. You know, it's nice when you're playing away when you're on defense because the crowd noise is down. So you watch these guys take off on the line of scrimmage. It's unbelievable.
Mike Zimmer's a heck of a defensive coordinator.
2nd and 6. That looked like they were going to get something out of it, but Dexter Coakley messed it up for Antoine Smith.
They just move to the ball and as a group, and that's what you really want to see. Yeah, they do. I mean, it's one of the things that they work on all the time is when the ball goes to their left, they're all going left, and everybody should meet there. And they do. There's usually 4 or 5 guys.
Now, you saw Scott standing in front of Mike Zimmer, the defensive coordinator of the Cowboys, because he was signaling in the defense. They don't want anybody to get an edge and see what the coaches are doing.
3rd and 3. Quick out, and that's caught by Graham, the tight end, and he has a first down. Nice throw by Brady. And Graham just stuck out his hand like he had a mitt on it and made the catch for the first down. End of 3, 9-0.
Monday Night Countdown delivered by UPS, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
I would have gone vanilla with that sweater.
Ice cream, $3.
I think I would have parked a little closer.
Gas, $22.
Whoa. I think.
Haircut, $30.
What? I would have looked out for the water main. But that's just me.
Monday morning quarterbacks, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
I would have double bagged it.
The new Braun Free Glider automatically dispenses a protective shaving conditioner, reducing the risk of abrasion, giving a clean, close shave. And if you're not completely satisfied, we'll give you your money back. Braun, designed to make a difference.
My country, 'tis of the sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing, land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrims fight. From every mountainside, glad freedom ring.
Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six 3, rated M for mature.
can get the same remarkably clear picture that our guys in the truck have if you get ESPN HD. You can watch next Sunday night's football game, the Redskins and the Dolphins, in HD. It's now available nationwide. The entire schedule can be found on ESPN.com. I have one. It is a remarkable, remarkable thing.
Now you're going to get another one because you said you have one. That's a pretty slick move, Babe.
You think?
I think that's a good move, Nick.
I'll be waiting at the front door.
Okay.
New England with consecutive first down. Falk across the 45 to the 46. There haven't been many big plays in this game, but they have all come from the New England Patriots. The first, Deion Branch, 46 yards from Tom Brady. That set up an Adam Vinatieri field goal. And then another bomb, this one to David Givens. And it set up the first touchdown. And then the interception that stopped the Dallas drive, the 14th for the New England secondary this year. That one by Ty Law, his third individually. Falk, throwback. Brady dropped. David Graham had it. Had a guy come flashing right across his face and couldn't hold it.
He thought he was going to get blown up. He gets on top of Al Singleton, but that's Darren Woodson that comes flying across his face, and he thinks he's going to be in for the collision of a lifetime. Watch the right part of your screen. Little flea flicker. Tom Brady gets it out of his nice throw, and there comes Darren Woodson. And believe me, Daniel Graham thought it was all. Watch him tighten up. He doesn't see that ball. He sees a collision.
Oh, Woodson made a great play, boy, by just getting the ball.
Just being there.
Yeah.
That could have been huge. 3rd and 6. Brady straight back over the middle of Falk. That's another first down.
Well, they got the matchup they wanted. They got that win on Falk. And when you get that matchup, you got the running back on the linebacker. I know Datwin is a good cover guy, and he's got excellent speed. But you got Falk coming out of the backfield. Here it comes. Brady throws. He sees Falk. Datwin is there. That's excellent, outstanding coverage.
Terrific throw, terrific catch. And Kevin Falk has been sort of the guy that's held all this together. He's a terrific runner. He makes big plays in the passing game, as you saw there. Spells Antoine Smith when he needs it.
3 straight first downs, each by a yard. And now Falk on first down as a flag goes down, and that's thrown in the area where they usually call a hold.
Bill Belichick's got to go crazy.
Offense, 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Patriots came in 3rd high in the league in penalties, almost 9 a game. And that was Dan Copen, the rookie center, called for the hold. So they wipe out a good gain and take it all the way back to the 43-yard line. The time of possession still heavily in favor of the Cowboys, but as Paul pointed out earlier, doesn't matter much when it's 9-0.
Doesn't matter.
You're so astute.
Yeah, that's another one.
Smart, too.
Fake the end around. Brady floats this one down the sideline, and Dan Win with brilliant coverage. He was right there, would not allow the completion to Patrick pass. Datwin is one of those guys who doesn't fit the mold. He's too small. He's too slow. All he does is make plays. And Larry Lacewell, the Cowboys scouting director, said the reason we drafted Datwin is because we passed on Zach Thomas after he didn't fit the mold. Zach Thomas turned out pretty darn well, and they were not going to make the same mistake with Datwin.
And I think Bill Parcells, if he wants bigger linebackers, is going to have a problem fitting them into what these guys are doing. Al Singleton and Dexter Coakley and Datwin.
Falk hit in the backfield and spun down. Didn't have a chance. Leonardo Carson, who wasn't signed to the roster until last month, was there.
Well, this is the one thing that Bill Parcells told us yesterday about his defensive linemen. He dresses out 8 defensive linemen because all of these guys contribute to this football team. And that's why that they play so well in their #1 defense, because they can interchange all of these guys.
Everybody's got something they do well. Greg Ellis doesn't have to play all the time at the end position, as well as Wk11. Both of them around 270, not the biggest guys.
This is the 12th play of the drive, and they still haven't even reached midfield. Brady stepping up, hit from behind, the ball's loose. And New England covers it up.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
Ebenezer Wk11 got the sack and knocked it loose.
Boy, these, you know, I've been talking about these guys all night long, this defensive line, and they stay with the 4-man rush. Ebenezer Wk11 is number 96. Look at the move back to the inside. And there's Leroy Glover, number 97. They're both there to meet the quarterback.
And that's on Tom Brady. Tom Brady stepped up in the pocket. They had help outside, and he just held it too long.
Now Zuriel Smith waits at his 20.
Rated to 40.
High and very short. Takes a good bounce for New England, and we'll get down to the 25-yard line. A 36-yard punt with a 10-yard roll. Time running out on Quincy Carter and the Cowboys. Can they come back from a 9-0 deficit?
Okay, boys, take your positions. Roger that. Looks like we're taking the scenic route. Okay, back right, you've got some water. I'm on it. Front right, you've got ice. 2 o'clock. Got it. Okay, giant mud patch in 3, 2. Woo! Man, I love this job.
The new BMW X5 with X-Drive, a revolutionary new all-wheel drive system that watches over you, shifting power where you need it, when you need it.
Sometimes in the face of insurmountable odds, unlikely heroes are born. As precious seconds ticked away, you took an impossible amount of data and turned it into something impossibly good. You have the new Microsoft Office system. Victory is yours.
Life got simple the day I plugged into the big brown machine. West Coast overnight, done. China, 48 hours, done. Brown picks it all up together and delivers it all on time. And with their global tracking system, I get the proof. It isn't that I'm not a trusting person. Yes, it is.
International, overnight, ground, synchronized. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by the all-new BMW 5 Series, the ultimate driving machine. Microsoft, your potential, our passion. And UPS, what can Brown do for you?
Beautiful facility here in Foxborough, Gillette Stadium, and the home fans have been entertained to a 9-0 lead so far. 11:23 to go in the ball game, and Quincy Carter is going to have to rally the troops as Dallas needs 2 scores and they're starting to run out of time. Carter, 3 out of 7 passing in this half, only 21 yards, and the 1 pick on the deflection. Carter to throw on first down, batted down in his face. Bobby Hamilton and Richard Seymour were right there. Let's go to Susie.
Mike, the strength of the Patriots defense this season has been the secondary, especially impressive since Ty Law is the only remaining starter from last year. He and Tyrone Poole working it tonight. And Law told us that Bill Belichick did cut down on some of the complexity of this defense so the new guys could understand it more, he says, so they can use their talent, react more. He still stresses not just anyone can play in this defense. You really need to be able to think.
And that's why he loves the veterans, Susie, the guys who are so versatile. Pressure coming on. Carter throws wide of Anderson, and he is spun down by Brewski, and there's a flag back at the 15-yard line.
Roughing the passer.
And that's roughing the passer.
That's 15. That's a nice way to move the sticks. Look at Bill Belichick. I mean, this guy has got...
Personal foul. Roughing the passer, number 93.
And that is their Pro Bowl lineman, Richard Seymour.
Well, I tell you, this is unbelievable to watch what these guys are doing. Here comes Seymour. Now, he's going to throw. What are you doing this for? Why are you hitting this guy? The ball's gone.
That's a good call by the officials.
Yes,
They're going to protect the quarterback. There's no need for it. But what I've seen the Dallas Cowboys do, especially in these last 2 series, is they've leaned heavily towards the pass. They've only run the ball 5 times and thrown it about 15 times. That's not Dallas Cowboy offensive football the way it's been.
Play action by Carter, and they'll blow this one dead. This will cost Dallas 5.
They're going to wear these flags out, Mike. I'm going to I never saw.
They have more.
I bet they do. What?
Tom White's been a busy guy.
He's been on more than Joe. And that's hard to say. Tom White has been on more than Joe.
False start. Number 65, offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains. First down.
Bill is obviously displeased.
Not happy with it.
I think so.
My lip reading skills are impressive.
Andre Gurod not going to be on that favorite player list this week. I still think the Cowboys, you've got 11 minutes, 15 seconds to go in this game. You know, you're not into a hurry up, throw the ball all the time mode yet.
Screen to Morrell. Not much blocking. Still got across the 40 to the 41. They get the 5 yards back. Next Sunday night at 7:30 Eastern, we hope you'll watch NFL Primetime. They'll catch you up on all the day's action. And then Steve Spurrier, the old ball coach, Patrick Ramsey, and the Redskins go to Miami to take on Ricky Williams and the Dolphins on ESPN Sunday Night Football at 8:30. Well, we've had a great schedule all year. We hope you enjoy the remaining games that we have. We have some beauties coming up.
Redskins playing better football.
Heartbreaker today against Carolina.
Taking over the coordinators. Steve Spurrier really running the organization like a head coach.
2nd and 10 for Dallas. 3-man rush underneath, and that one is complete to Bryant. He gets to the 49. They'll need about 2 more for a first down. Mike Vrabel was there for the stop.
Again, Quincy Carter. Talk about his mobility. We've seen him run around. Look at the job he does just staying in the pocket. Offensive line gives him a throwing lane. That time Antonio Bryant hangs on.
They have a manageable 3rd down. Finally.
Hambrick is back in at tailback. 3rd and about 1.5 yards. Hambrick will get the carry.
He didn't get it.
He did not make it. Just got across the 50. You mentioned 4-down territory earlier. It might be here.
No, I think they made it.
No, he didn't make it. Not where
the linesman marked it.
They've got to get to the 49-yard line. Now, are they there? They didn't make it. Well, but this has got to be 4-down territory.
Let's look at it.
The linesman came in from the sideline and had it marked short of that. Okay. Perhaps the linesman from the other side of the field marked it closer.
I'm putting if I don't get this one right, I quit.
This is your reputation right on the line.
Well, my reputation's been on the line a long time ago.
Well, you lost it actually a long time ago, but that's okay. Go ahead, try it.
That's way gone.
Well, give me an answer. Come on.
I said they didn't make it.
Okay.
Well, that means it's first down.
I think they did.
I said no. No. Go for it. Go for it.
I don't agree.
I don't care whether you agree or not.
I think
go for it.
I think you still play the field position game and you kick it.
They're going to go for it.
They're going to play the field position game and go for it.
Now, would you go quarterback sneak like you did the last time?
Yes, quarterback sneak. He's picked up, what, 2 of them already.
Throughout his career, Bill Parcells has gone for it a lot.
And also, he's the guy calling the plays. This isn't a suggestion to a coordinator. This is the man in charge.
Well, Joe, you don't need to be in this game if you got a team this big, this line this big, and you can't move that thing 6 inches.
You're not going to win, right?
You're not going to win.
Well, the game could be on the line here.
You just don't want anybody moving off sides. That's the big thing.
Don't like you say, don't keep them at the line of scrimmage. Get it on with it.
Oh, and now Carter has to use the timeout. 9:21 to go in the game. 4th and inches for Dallas when we come back.
Tonight on SportsCenter, the Chiefs battle for their unbeaten lives. Are the Cowboys successful? Bill Parcells makes his call. An Olympic gold medalist terrorized by a stalker. It's all on SportsCenter after the game, ESPN.
Property owners, DR's largest 20% off-season savings are now in effect on the amazing DR Field and Brush Mower. Call now, and for a very limited time, you can save up to $579. Now, if you've ever tried to clear an overgrown field or ditch with a handheld brush cutter, you know they're exhausting to use. Take hold of a DR field and brush mower, though, and you've got a whole different story. The DR knocks over brush and saplings up to 2.5 inches thick and chops most everything it cuts. So why let weeds and brush take over? Call 1-800-535-3200 for your free DR Field and Brush Mower catalog and video. There's no obligation, but you must call right now to qualify for our largest 20% off-season savings. That's 1-800-535-3200. Online at drfieldbrush.com.
DR is professional power for homeowners.
You love movies, you need the Stars Super Pack. 8 great movie channels, over 400 different movies each month, just $11.99 or less a month. From new hits on Stars to Hollywood favorites on Encore. The Stars Super Pack has the best movie choices for everyone in the family. 8 great channels, over 400 different movies each month, unbeatable choice and an unbeatable price. Just $11.99 or less a month. Call now and ask for Stars. 1-800-333-DISH.
9:21 to go from Foxborough. 4th and inches for Dallas. The Cowboys have only made 3 out of 8 on 4th down this year.
But I like the fact that Quincy Carter didn't have everything the way he wanted it. He had the presence of mind not to try and rush it. He called the timeout, went over and conferred with Coach Parcells, and they make a decision.
This is going to be loud in here. They don't need to make an exchange. They need him to get the first down.
Quincy Carter has had a couple of successful quarterback keepers.
Boy, they jammed in the middle. They are jammed in the middle.
They're waiting for that sneak, and instead they go to Hambrick, and Hambrick lost his footing, and it was stuffed by Brewski.
What a bad call. I mean, Quincy Carter has picked up first downs. You're handing it off in the backfield, and it's sort of it's a fake to the right and then come back to the left. I mean, it takes so long for it. Fake to the right, come back to the left. You've got penetration up the middle. Teddy Bruschi puts Hambrick on the ground. Patriots ball.
Somebody's got to feel this. 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 Feel this. Feel this.
Okay, boys, take your positions. Roger that. Looks like we're taking the scenic route. Okay, back right, you've got some water. I'm on it. Front right, you've got ice. 2 o'clock. Got it. Okay, giant mud patch in 3, 2. Man, I love this job.
The new BMW X5 with X-Drive, a revolutionary new all-wheel drive system that watches over you, shifting power where you need it, when you need it.
Come in now for TGI Friday's double glazed ribs. They're basted with our rich Tennessee glaze, then finished with Friday's tangy barbecue sauce. Tear into double glazed ribs. Only at Fridays.
Sometimes you need a little help staying in the game. Introducing new Levitra. It's a new choice, and it's here now. Ask your doctor if a free sample is right for you. Ask about new Levitra.
ESPN Sunday NFL Countdown. Inside the playbook, behind the scenes, on the pulse of the NFL. League-leading coverage from Boomer, TJ, Mort, Michael, and Steve.
That's what we're here for.
Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Teddy Bruschi just made what may have been his biggest tackle of the year as he stuffed Hambrick on a 4th and inches play. Kevin Falk in the lineup, they fake it to him. Brady, contact, and they're going to say the receiver and the defensive back got their feet tied up. Mario Edwards and Bethel Johnson. And when the feet get tied up and there's no other contact, they're not going to throw the flag.
Tom Brady talked about Bethel Johnson. What they do is they drop back 5 steps. He's so fast they can't overthrow him. I would have liked to have seen if he could have caught up to that ball.
This is incidental contact. And I mean, there was no way that Mario Edwards was trying to trip this guy up.
I agree with you.
Don't boo.
Mario Edwards was just trying to catch up to him.
That's all he was doing.
I like the
Johnson with blazing speed.
Man, I like Charlie Wise's call, though. Just go for it.
They were going for the throat on that one. Antoine Smith behind Andruzzi. Nice hole off the left side. Datlin makes the tackle at the 42.
You know, in this second half of the ball game, now we're going under 9 minutes. Up until that play, which is what, 5 yards? New England 7 carries for 12 yards.
That's why.
Rushing the ball.
Where's Dallas's defense ranked?
Number 1.
That's why. There it is, right there. You're right.
I wish I'd have thought of that.
And Bill Belichick knows that it was going to be this kind of a football game. And Bill Parcells told us last night. I said, what's the key to the game? He says turnovers. If you win the turnover battle, you win 84% of the time. And that was up a half a percentage point from a week ago coming into this weekend's game.
3rd and 4 for New England. They are really thin at wide receiver now. David Gibbons hurt early in the ballgame. His return is questionable. Troy Brown not on the active list tonight. That one popped up in the air. Mario Edwards again with great coverage on Deion Branch.
Mario Edwards is a different football player in year 4. Talking to Darren Woodson, he said Mario Edwards was never a guy who worked real hard. He didn't really have a work ethic. And all of a sudden, whether it's his maturity or the arrival of Bill Parcells, his work ethic has changed tremendously.
I'll take the arrival of Parcells, given that question.
I'll give him credit to say it's his 4th year and he knows what's going on.
Here's the 15th punt. The other 14 weren't worth anything either. I wouldn't go down to 10. I'd stand about the 40.
Ken Walter, better kick this time. Floats it to Zuriel Smith. Makes the fair catch at the 19-yard line. 8:09 to go. A pair of 7-2 division leaders, and it's a 9-0 New England lead.
Tonight on SportsCenter, the surprising Bengals go for an undefeated upset. Bill Parcells describes the price he pays for coaching, and Chris Berman runs down his top 10 plays. SportsCenter, after the game, ESPN.
Now playing on pay-per-view. How about we settle this on the blacktop? Get ready. Fire 'em up! Get set. Go! Order Too Fast, Too Furious on pay-per-view.
What is his deal?
I got a problem with authority. Oh, yeah! And as part of a special double feature, see the movie that started it all.
Drive like you've done this before. No, never.
The Fast and the Furious. Smoke 'em. 2 turbocharged movies for one super cool low price. Feel the rush on pay-per-view today.
Women love perfectly groomed men, but grooming certain areas can be a problem. Now there's Microtouch for safe, precise grooming that gets as close as a blade, yet is safe to the touch. Now you can keep the back of your neck barbershop perfect by yourself. Remove unsightly ear hair and embarrassing nose hair with just a touch. Sideburns and beards, neat and clean. Got bushy eyebrows? Snap on the guide and perfectly groom them in seconds. Look at the difference. What a great way for women to keep the man in their life perfectly groomed. Microtouch grooms from head to toe and anywhere in between. A $40 value, yours for only $14.99. Plus you get our 10-piece precision grooming kit. A $40 value, yours free. Order now and get both the Microtouch Precision Groomer and the 10-piece grooming kit, an $80 value for only $14.99.
Call 1-800-357-6363. That's 1-800-357-6363. So call 1-800-357-6363.
The New England Patriots trying to go 8-2 for only the second time in their history. Have a 9-0 lead over the Dallas Cowboys. 4th quarter, Dallas starts from its own 19. Check at the 14. Carter, Burrell underneath. And he's brought down at the 19-yard line. Willie McGinnis was there. 10 possessions, 7 punts. They got to the New England 19, and then they lost the ball on the interception on that drive. They also had 1 possession ended by the first half. Another possession failed when they went for it on 4th and inches.
And every one of their possessions they've started their possessions in their own territory.
Well, you knew it was going to be a game of field position and waiting for breaks and trying to make breaks. Carter intercepted by Tyrone Bull. Underthrown for Terry Glenn.
That's just, I mean, the Cowboys this whole second half really got away from what kept them somewhat close in the game, and that was running the ball. You had a 2nd down and 5. You run the play action, and again, give credit to Bill Belichick in the adjustments that he makes. He only rushes 3. He drops everybody else into coverage. Quincy Carter makes the throw, and Tyrone Poole going back and showing you why he was a coveted free agent for the New England Patriots.
That's the 3rd interception for Tyrone Poole, the 15th for the Patriots.
And this game looks an awful lot like the Tampa game for Quincy Carter. The first half, he played really, really solid. The second half, he's tried to force some plays.
Now look for New England to try to run the ball and work the clock. Falk stays in bounds, taken down at the 41-yard line.
This is one of those games. We talked about Quincy Carter continuing to grow as a quarterback. 17 for 30, pretty solid. The 2 INTs, very critical. That one there, he tried to throw the ball. That's an interception that's just part of the game as a quarterback. The one that he threw before where Willie McGinnis put the pressure on him and Ty Law made the interception. And that's something that Bill Parcells will have a long conversation with his young quarterback about.
Tyrone Poole and Ty Law have each had a pick tonight. Brady slipped as he threw it. Got it out to Patrick Pass. He breaks a tackle, and Patrick Pass inside the 30 for the first down. Well, that's nice effort by the 4-year fullback from Georgia.
Well, I tell you what, Dat Wynn had excellent coverage on this play, and Patrick Pass just would not go down. Here's the play. Patrick Pass to the outside. Watch who's there in a hurry. Dat Wynn. Patrick Pass just shows you some strength.
That's how strong. He's only like 220. And that's his first pass reception. Got a little string, a little streamer. Excuse me a second. He's got a little streamer coming off of him. He's moving so
he wants to make it vapor.
The vapor look?
Yeah, the vapor look.
Tom Brady now 14 out of 33, 206 yards. Falk. Nowhere to go, taken down at the 30. He'll lose a yard. But the clock is now under 6 minutes.
That was Darren Woodson again making the play, and this guy from the safety position. But we talked about both of these defenses are just extraordinary tonight. We're watching the Dallas Cowboys. Now they've been on the field for a little while, but these guys are, they thought they could wear these guys down. They can't. They are fast.
Well, if their offense hadn't turned the ball over, the defense would have been able to rest even a little bit more.
Falk, this time straight up the middle, and he got down to around the 28-yard line.
Dexter Coakley coming over and making the tackle. Talked about the speed of these linebackers we've seen. To me, Dat Wynn has just been everywhere. Every time there's a Patriot with the ball in his hand, Dat Wynn has been from one sideline to the other. Dexter Coakley plays that off linebacker position. Another guy who can flat run.
Charleston, South Carolina.
Talk about the difference between a Dexter Coakley and, say, a Pepper Johnson, who's on the staff of the New England Patriots. 2 different kinds of linebackers.
3rd and long, and Brady under pressure throws underneath. He has his tight end Christian Fourier. He'll be about 3 yards shy of a first down, and this will bring Adam Vinatieri on the field.
You can bet they're going to let this clock run down a lot more. It should get under 4 minutes by the time they're ready to do anything. And this field, they share this field with Mr. Kraft's soccer team. So you look at the brownness and the chewed up area. It's not an easy surface to kick off of.
This is the best thing that happened to Cowboys. You hold these guys to just 3 points. So that, but the problem is if you're not moving the ball down the field. The 3 mistakes that they made, 3 interceptions, and then the 2 long bombs. And there's only really been actually 5 plays in this game that have turned it.
And here are the plays Paul just talked about. And they have come from Tom Brady's arm to Deion Branch. That set up the field goal. Then to David Givens, which set up the Patriots touchdown. Ty Law stopped the Dallas' deepest penetration with the interception. Teddy Bruschi stopped them on 4th and inches with a great play. And then Tyrone Poole stopped the last drive with his 3rd pick of the season, and Bill Belichick loving every second of it.
They've always talked about Bill Belichick being stoic, and when they won the Miami game in overtime, he was all excited. And then they won the Denver game, he's excited. He loves football, and he loves his football team. His guys play hard for him. His guys really, really respect him, and they like playing for him because he's just one heck of a football coach.
Well, you're not going to see him anytime soon headlining at the Comedy Shop, but, you know, he is a heck of a football coach. He's proved it year after year.
And that's some ugly dirt that Vinatieri's kicking off of.
Vinatieri is already hit from 23. This is from 39.
We've got offside Dallas, and if that happens, that's going to be a first down.
It is.
And what a killer mistake that is.
Here's the thing. You take points off the board? Absolutely.
Yes, sir. In this situation, because you can run time off the clock or make them burn the rest of their timeouts.
Were you just asking a question, or were you just asking a dumb question?
I was just talking out loud. I was asking a dumb question of a dumb guy, me.
Outside. Done it. Number 41, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's the rookie Terrence Newman.
Hey, I can tell you, right side of your frame, right up top, right there. You see him. Whoop. Little too anxious. Vinatieri goes ahead, actually makes the kick. Yep.
Dallas has 2 timeouts left. But this is going to use up at least another minute off the clock.
You know who made the tackle?
Dat win.
No.
Newman?
Newman. The guy that just made the mistake. Here he comes off the corner, and he makes the tackle. They got to use their timeouts.
Now, if Dallas goes on to lose this ball game, don't look in your rearview mirror, but they're the Philadelphia Eagles.
And there's
a remarkable turnaround for them.
What I think the biggest difference in a Donovan McNabb is he's decided to run with the football. He made some great decisive decisions today against the Giants. He's got his complete game back, and you're right, they're gaining momentum.
Antoine Smith protecting the ball, gets down near the 10.
You know, we had that Coach of the Year list up there. I'll tell you a guy, you know, Bill Parcells certainly, Bill Belichick certainly, I think Dick Vermeil. Marvin Lewis has done an absolutely wonderful job. The Cincinnati Bengals are closing and tied with the Baltimore Ravens. Actually, they're ahead of them because they've beaten them once. Could be the Cincinnati Bengals winning a division. When's the last time you've even thought about that, more or less said it?
Not in my lifetime.
A lot.
No, I saw him play in the Super Bowl once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a rather cold day, wasn't it?
Boy, Tyrone Poole coming up with a big play.
Clock is running. Brady, naked bootleg, slips the tackle. Coakley had him dead to rights for a loss of 7 or 8. Couldn't make the tackle.
But they're right back to 4th down situation again.
But the clock just keeps turning.
Well, they're going to get help here. They're going to get the 2-minute warning. So it'll go all the way down to 2 minutes. The Cowboys will keep their timeouts.
But because of that offside penalty, cost them 1 minute and 45 seconds.
Yes, it did. Critical error. 2 minutes to go in a 9-0 ball game.
Garage door opener problems? LiftMaster garage door openers are professionally installed.
Here, Daddy, try this.
And only LiftMaster offers integrated access systems that expand garage door opener capability, like a remote light control that turns on your house lights so that you'll never enter a dark home again. Buy a LiftMaster and get a free remote light control at $39.99 retail value through November 30th. Contact LiftMaster now.
Okay, boys, take your positions. Roger that. Looks like we're taking the scenic route. Okay, back right, you've got some water. I'm on it. Front right, you've got ice. 2 o'clock. Got it. Okay, giant mud patch in 3, 2. Woo! Man, I love this job.
The new BMW X5 with X-Drive, a revolutionary new all-wheel drive system that watches over you, shifting power where you need it, when you need it.
So, Dan, do we have everything we need for this meeting?
It's all right here, sir.
Is your data backup as reliable as it should be?
Don't worry, sir. He told me everything.
Ours is. BrightStore Storage Software from Computer Associates.
As a United Way volunteer, Darren Howard helps out in a drama program that helps kids express themselves.
Action. Badges? We don't need any stinging badges.
Now, that was a good one.
Shutouts are rare in the National Football League. They are even more rare for Bill Parcells. Twice in 248 regular season games. That's if this one holds.
And remember, Flozell Adams blocked the extra point. That's why the score is 9-0 instead of 10. So Adam Vinatieri can kick it low.
(12-0) New England. Dallas will now need a pair of touchdowns in the final 156 to pull this out. In week 7 at Miami, Olindo Mare missed a would-be game-winning field goal. The Patriots went on to win it in overtime. 82 yards from Tom Brady to Troy Brown, who was hurt and couldn't play tonight. The Pats had trailed 13-6 in the third quarter. In week 9, they purposely snapped the ball out of the end zone for a safety. Then they got the ball back. Brady marched his team downfield for a touchdown, another come-from-behind victory. They were bailed out in that one because the resulting free kick after the safety was misplayed so badly.
And the other thing is, too, is they've sort of picked up where they left off with the bye. They came into the bye, and Mr. Kraft's team, they wanted to get them healthy, right? Well, they get him sort of healthy now. David Givens is nicked a little bit. Troy Brown doesn't play. So they're right back filling in the pieces one more time.
Before this game is over, I know all of us wanted to mention this. Hats off to Jerry Jones for hiring Bill Parcells and giving up a lot of the control he has always had over that franchise. Well, I think that is a critical thing for him to do. He wants to win so badly that you go out and get a Bill Parcells. It is a courageous move on his part to depart from what he'd always done in the past.
I don't think he gave up control. I think he brought a partner in. It's the first time he's hired a football coach with NFL experience.
Zuriel Smith on the return. And Smith out near the 35-yard line. We have a timeout with 1:49 to go in the ballgame. 12-0 New England.
He likes a little blue cheese. I like skillet sensations. They're back at Applebee's.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Patriots with a 12-0 lead over the Dallas Cowboys. 1:49 to go in the game. Three-man rush against Quincy Carter. Out in the flat to Richie Anderson, out of bounds at the 36. Here's Susie.
Mike, the story leading up to this game all week was the relationship of Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. What a successful coaching combination, but how their relationship has been fractured personally since. In the pregame, the two barely acknowledged each other, certainly fueling the fire of what the relationship like these days. Well, we have to wonder what happens in the postgame. Do they continue to fuel that fire? Do they acknowledge each other? I don't think there's ever been as much intrigue regarding a handshake in the postgame.
Yeah, you have to wonder. Anderson wheels his way out to the 49. He has 8th catch.
I'll bet you we'll have a camera on or two.
Well, I could never see losing a game and going over and shaking somebody's hand afterwards.
Well, you know, coaches do that every now and then. Part of the intrigue, Paul.
Carter steps up and shows you the strength of that arm. Zuriel Smith down to the 20.
The Cowboys have to be a little careful. They still have 2 timeouts left. And, I mean, New England has to be a little careful. You can't just give them a cheap score and they have an onside kick and all of a sudden have an opportunity to beat you.
Carter's got Smith wide open, doesn't see him, instead throws it out of the end zone. Our Sunday stud question is the NFL Coach of the Year. Your vote, Bill Parcells, 34.8%. Marvin Lewis finished second. Dick Vermeil, John Fox, and Bill Belichick in that order, third, fourth, and fifth.
I don't agree. I think Marvin Lewis had to take a team that was so far away and teach him how to win. Bill Parcells inherited a good defense. He had two great wide receivers to go. I think Bill's done a terrific job. But to me, congratulations to Marvin Lewis, and he would have been my choice.
I'm going to wait to vote. Belichick has overcome so many injuries. Carter goes down under the rush. Seymour was there along with Dan Klecko.
And here's another rule change that they had. When a quarterback gets sacked now, they don't stop the clock. They used to stop the clock, but not anymore. He got sacked. That clock is still running.
3rd and 13. Carter under pressure again.
Holding penalty.
Throws on the run, incomplete. Flag down. And it looked like Kurt Vollers, trying to protect his quarterback, will be called for the hold.
He was holding Dan Klecko.
Bad New England. We talk about the two defenses in this game tonight really played hard. And mistakes made the difference. That's all it was.
Holding, number 78, 10-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Only 17 seconds to go. Stuart Scott and John Anderson standing by for SportsCenter. The Bungles know more, you betcha. Parcells and Belichick, what about the relationship and an Olympians stalking terror? 17 seconds to go. Ball back at the 34.
Well, you know what, guys? This game lived up to the billing. Believe me, this football game was as good as anything.
You knew it would be two tremendous defenses. Field position, and what a shot, and a flag. Eugene Wilson just unloaded on Randall Williams, and they're going to flag him for a hit to the head, I believe.
It's a hit to the head, and that they're going to call. Now they're talking this thing over with. Did he hit him in the head, or did he hit the ball? Here it comes.
He hit him in the chest, I think. You see the officials.
Oh, no. He led with his head. Look at his helmet. He speared him. That's what they're calling.
That's his shoulder. No, he leads with his shoulder, Paul. And that's what
I'm going to tell you something.
I bet you that's what they're discussing.
I'll tell you about it.
He leads with his shoulder, not his head.
But the helmet did get up under his chin. Now, are they going to call that?
No, if you lead with your shoulder, it's so close to your head.
After the incomplete pass, we have a personal foul, unnecessary roughness, a New England player launched and hit the Dallas player. There'll be a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. 1st down.
Hold on, Joe. He launched himself. That is what they're calling. You cannot launch yourself at a guy.
Okay, so you're supposed to let a guy go catch the ball.
I'll tell you, that's the part.
Watch his shoulder, though, Paul.
Now, what I'm saying, he said. What I'm saying to you is, he's saying after the missed catch. That's what's not right, because this guy still has a chance to catch the ball. He's knocking the ball away, but he does launch himself.
But no, wait a second.
As a defensive player, you're not allowed to, quote, launch yourself?
No, you're not allowed to do it if he's in imminent danger.
All right, back to the game, 11 seconds.
That's a wrong call. He was just knocking the ball away from the receiver.
Blitz coming against Carter. To the end zone, intercepted. Ty Law's going to bring it out.
And Bill Belichick's going to kill him.
Yes, he is. He wants him to get down.
He wants it all.
Ty Law on the return, and he throws it on the lateral, loose ball. Flag is down. They may call this a forward pass. And Ty Law, I'm sure Bill Belichick is not going to like the way that one went, but it will end the ball game. And New England will win it 9-0. Excuse me, 12-0. And here's Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick going toward midfield as the referees sort out this
during
last
the return,
flag.
There's an illegal block in the back during the return. That penalty is declined. Ball game's over.
There's Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick. See, you know.
That's good to see.
Well, you know what it is, because there's two men that respect each other. We know they spent a lot of time. When we had a chance to talk to them about the fact that there was this rift, there really wasn't.
That was a classy ending to a heck of a ball game. The final score, 12-0 New England. For Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, Susie Colbert, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Good night from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.